Hello, dear listener. Welcome to People We Know, a podcast for my friends and family, about my friends and family. I went thrifting last weekend with my friend Emma, who you know and love from the homeschool episode, and I saw all of these books. They're like these middle-aged women romance novels, and I have always wanted to read these. I feel like I see them everywhere. You know, the ones that have like a pirate on the cover. Maybe I'll edit in some example photos of ones. But I've always wanted to read one of these like trashy like old women romance books. And anyway, I saw them and I was like, you know what? What if it was $2 and I got the shortest one there and decided to read it. And anyway, I was talking to Sophie and Sai the other day about it, and we were all just kind of hanging out on the call, and they were doing other stuff, and we had the idea to read it together. And we got through about a third of the book, so hopefully we'll finish the other book in another podcast episode soon. So, yeah, I guess welcome to People We Know Book Club, episode 1. Enjoy this nasty, horrible, but I can't stop reading it book.
I'm gonna transition from card to, oh my god, yes, there's not a lot of people here.
Congratulations on your transition.
Okay, hey Sophie and Sai.
Hello.
We are gonna be reading Diana Palmer's Lady Love together. The beginning of it anyway. And as I grabbed it, the entire cover fell off. So this is a book I thrifted.
So was this from the 80s?
This is from 1984.
Excellent.
This is the most famous book associated with the year 1984.
Of course.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, I was telling them before we started recording that I've always wanted to read one of these middle-aged woman horrible romance novels with a pirate on the cover. I feel like you know the ones. If you don't, you don't. This one I saw, there was a big amount of them at the thrift store the other day, and this was the shortest one, so it's the one that I grabbed. And it doesn't have a pirate on the front, unfortunately, but it has a nice I don't know, country mansion. It's giving Mr. Darcy. It's giving, apparently it's giving Jane Eyre, which I've never read. Okay, and the cover is completely gone now, so.
Wait. Do you know the plot?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm not even gonna explain it.
Oh, shit.
Because now I'm just no shot that this is gonna be...
I know, because well, let me read the back.
Dinner's twisted!
Oh, really?
I love it, but spoilers for Jane Eyre. It's basically isn't it the governess marries the man of this house who I believe has children.
Oh.
It's been a long fucking time, right? Basically, his ex-wife is not dead. She's in the attic, and she burns the house down and permanently disfigures the man, but Jane Eyre stays with him.
Oh, no,
it's
no.
very Rebecca Alfred Hitchcock kind of, but more.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the plot for Jane Water, not Jane Eyre.
Shut up!
Oh, my bad.
Anyways.
I heard Jane Fire was not as good.
You're right. Jane Plasma, on the other hand.
Bro, okay, no spoilers.
Well, let me read the back of this book because I already read it to them earlier, but, for you listeners at home. Because apparently this book is, kind of based off of Jane Eyre, I guess.
Jesus.
Jane Eyre, eat your heart out. Merlin, or do we think it's Marilyn? It's Merlyn. What do we think?
Marilyn
Forrest Steele had found the perfect modern-day Rochester in dark, brooding Cameron Thorpe. And although she could almost recreate the stormy classic from her own life, she had better things to do. Like proving to her father she could indeed survive without his millions or his matchmaking schemes, and convincing herself that it didn't matter that men seemed to covet her money more than her heart. But baiting this intimidating stuffed shirt was simply too much fun, until Cameron, the cold heart, decided to catch her at her own game. Ooh.
Damn. Gonna get intense.
The plot thickens.
So, shall we? There's a little opening,
Yeah,
couple of paragraphs before. Anyway, Marilyn hated him immediately. Of course, he couldn't have known that she'd be standing in the middle of the hall at 12 o'clock at night. On the other hand, she hadn't expected him to blow in from a horrible thunderstorm and knock her down on the carpet. "Why don't you watch where you're going?" she shot at him. "You are moving like a freight train." The eyes she could barely see under his heavy eyebrows seemed to throw off sparks. "Who the hell are you?" he demanded, moving toward her. Now, she cautioned, stumbling backward. Temper, you'll hurt yourself." "Not damned likely," he said darkly, and kept coming.
Oh my.
And then we get to
Oh
the
my
title
lord.
page.
Oh
This is the beginning? Whoa,
Yeah,
this
that's
is the
even
big...
before
Oh,
the title page.
Okay, but we
my
did
lord.
want enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
we did.
What if I end up,
we did want
loving
that.
this
We did
book?
want
I probably will.
Yeah.
It says, I already told them this, but it says also available from Mira Books and Diana Palmer, The Rawhide Man, and coming soon, Cattleman's Choice and Friends and Lovers. Hell yeah. Woo! It says for Shirley and Cordia. Anyway, chapter
Shirley's
1.
lucky day.
Marilyn Forest Steel, Ebony Darkness, Demacia. Marilyn Forest Steele's eyes were the same shade of green as her father's, but Jared Steele's had a twinkle that, at the moment, she was too angry to match. She glared at him from the plush white depths of the horseshoe-shaped sofa, its covering emphasizing the jet blackness of her long hair. Literally, it's Ebony Darkness.
Oh!
It's starting to sound familiar.
"It's all your fault," she told him shortly. His eyebrows arched. "What is?" "Adam." He gave a world-weary sigh and stuck his hands deep in the pockets of his charcoal-gray suit pants. His silver mustache twitched as he frowned. "I see what you mean," he confessed. "I meant well." "I didn't mean your
Monopoly Man.
The Pringles can guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, wait, is that what his
Go
voice
on.
should be like? Like, "I see what you mean." It meant well.
No, please, young.
"I didn't mean your matchmaking attempts," she explained. Her hand smoothed a wrinkle in her green silk slacks. "I meant the fact that you're so rich." "I often think of donating my fortune to charity and throwing myself on the mercy of strangers," he murmured, tongue-in-cheek. She glared at him again. "I never know if it's me or your money that men want," she said. "Adam seemed to be head over heels in love with me, and I was warming to him. Then I found out that he only got engaged to me because he had dreams of becoming your business partner. Now where in the world did he get an idea like that? Especially since he works for a rival computer company."
Ooh.
Oh, it's going to be modern. I kind of don't like that. I thought it was going to be...
It's 80s.
I know, but I thought it was going to
company?
be, like, about a different time, you know? A rival
Well,
computer
yeah.
company.
Look. No,
That's
honestly,
true.
I don't want
honestly,
this
I
to-
was thinking.
Let's say it's a
Apple.
rival steamboat company.
They had businesses back then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Time out. You want this to be the antebellum South?
I don't know why steamboat was like the first thing I thought of. That's the railroad.
There you
I was
go.
thinking kingdom, but okay. I can hold
Yeah.
on. Let me change my inner, like
Oh,
my
yeah.
the inner
Why
pictures of all the
did they
characters
compare
real quick.
it to Jane Eyre?
I guess we'll find out.
I guess so.
Oh, we will.
Her father turned away and looked out the window. "Look at the sun," he said with enthusiasm. "Imagine it's spring already." What a response. "Evading the issue, huh?" she challenged. He hunched his shoulders and glanced at her. "Well, darling, you aren't ugly," he reminded her.
Dang.
You know how when your dad says you're not ugly?
That's such a horrible way to compliment somebody.
Yeah, I'm not poor either. That's the trouble. "He seemed like a good prospect," her father murmured defensively. So he had, Marilyn thought. Her father had introduced her to Adam James at a party. Jared Steele felt that at 26, his only child was ripe for the joys of wedded bliss. So for the past year, he'd been flinging unsuspecting males at Marilyn's feet in what she considered a pathetically obvious way. If her mother had still been alive, perhaps her father would have been too occupied to bother Marilyn. But as it was, he was determined to marry her off, and no eligible bachelor of reasonable means escaped his eagle eye. Adam James had seemed to be a prize catch. A minor executive in a rival railroad company, he had come to Jared's attention at a railroad conference.
Railroad conference.
Her father had dragged him home to Maryland as proudly as a hunting dog carrying a duck in its mouth. Adam, for his part, had seemed immediately smitten and had pursued Marilyn with considerable enthusiasm. Right up until the very end, she'd been fooled by his persuasive charm, despite the fact that only her mind agreed to the liaison. What? Despite the fact that only her mind agreed to the liaison? Okay. Oh, her body had been ice cold in his arms. Somehow.
Ooh.
He'd never managed to stir her. He'd never managed to stir her. No man had managed that in her virginal life.
Oh, wow.
Her virginal life. He never managed to stir her.
I thought she was supposed... Never mind.
People can be...
Wow,
anyway,
she's a virgin.
No man had managed that in her virginal life, although she was certain she had passion in her. Okay.
Oh,
Literally
my
wrong.
goodness gracious.
Like page 2.
Lord.
Okay. She loved fast cars. Oh, she loved fast horses and excitement and all sorts of hobbies that her father had predicted would be the death of her. She hadn't gotten over Adam in the month since their engagement had been broken. Oh, shit. Engagement.
Oh, okay, that far. Oh, my word.
She'd gone off to France for 2 weeks and come back with a suntan, a sour disposition, and a grudge against her disappointed parent. Are we supposed to feel bad for her?
I know, right?
Oh, no, she went off to France and felt sad about it.
Oh, no. Travel to a different exotic country? Wow.
Now she was bored again, and nagging him had become a rather satisfying diversion for her. Hi, Friday. You hear him? He's like meowing. I want to be loved for myself, she muttered. His eyebrows arched again. I love you. Prove it, she challenged. Stop throwing men at me. He threw up his hands. My God, all I want is a few grandchildren. God forbid a man has a hobby. Just kidding. Adopt! He glowered at her. Shame on you, moaning over being rich. Plenty of women would love to walk in your shoes. Maybe I'd like to be poor for a change, she shot back, rising from the sofa, and have a chance to be liked for myself alone. So do it, he dared her, with narrowed eyes. I dare you. If you think it's so wonderful being poor, you go try it. I grew up with nothing, but you've always had the advantages. Let's see you get along without them for, say, a month.
Wow.
His eyes twinkled mischievously, and he wiggled his mustache, which had more hair in it than he had on his head. Live without money. Work for your keep. And if you can manage that for a month without telling anyone who you are or what you're worth, I'll swear off matchmaking for life. Cross my heart. She pursed her lips, and her own green eyes began to twinkle. A month, huh? A month! What kind of work could I do? You've got a degree in history, he reminded her. Lots of people have. He looked thoughtful. Yes, but I think I know a way you could use it. She cocked her head warily. Oh, no, you don't. No men, he said, holding up his hands defensively. Just a lovely lady who writes torrid historical romances. She lives on Lake Lanier, north of here.
Yeah.
Is there an author
Self-insert, yeah.
I know. I was about to ask
In
that.
Gainesville, she asked, and he nodded. Are they in Florida? She studied him. What would I do? Help her with some research on her next book. Jack Thomas was talking about it yesterday. We were at the board meeting of that college. You know, we're both trustees. He knows Cameron Thorpe. Oh, he's from the back of the book. Cameron Thorpe. Okay, anyway.
Yo.
The Charleston banker, well, the writer is Thorpe's mother. She lives alone except for a housekeeper. It was sounding better and better to Marilyn. She knew Lake Lanier. It was a man-made lake, Georgia's biggest. Okay, Georgia. And one of her good friends raced at Road Atlanta near there. Dick Langley, crazy name, had an enormous, I bet he did, home on the lake.
Oh, yeah.
She visited occasionally.
Huge tracts land.
She's a writer, she frowned. Does she write under her own name? No!
Wow.
Her given name is Lila Thorpe, he said. But she writes as Copper O'Mara. She gasped. But I read her, she burst out. She's one of my favorites. All the more reason to apply for the job, he chuckled. Want me to call Jack Thomas and ask if he knows her phone number? And don't worry, I won't blow your cover. I'll say I have an acquaintance who might qualify for the job. Fair enough, she said. I'll show you I'm no society darling. I would love to be a society darling. Anyway, I'm like, I'll take your place. He studied her slenderness. He studied her slenderness and smiled with pure pride. You've got class, though, just like your mother. But she was beautiful, Marilyn argued. He nodded. The most beautiful creature on earth. I still miss her, you know. He turned away. Well, let's get this show on the road, daughter. He picked up the phone. You know how when your dad calls you daughter?
Yeah, of course. Every day.
All the time.
Any comments
Daughters
before I
specifically for
go
me.
on?
I'm hooked, and I'm sad that you've stopped.
I'm in, and like the visual of like the Pringles guy throwing his arms up in despair, wiggling his mustache, and like squinting his eyes is the funniest thing for me.
When I chose that voice, I didn't realize he was gonna have so many lines. I kind of thought, I don't know. I don't know what I thought. All right.
I thought it was gonna be like a prologue sort of thing where it's like, hey, daughter, go, and then daughter's like, cool,
Right?
I'm gonna head out. But yeah.
Anyways.
Like what?
3 days later, on a rainy Friday, Marilyn drove up to the large two-story lake house where Lila Thorpe lived. It was a fieldstone and wood building as beautiful as its natural surroundings. Beyond it was the lake with a boathouse and a private cove and pier. Around it was open land with hills and pine trees and none of the cluttered construction. Railroad construction, one found closer into Gainesville.
Yeah, wait, sorry. She's like, I'm sick of being rich, so I'm gonna go live at somebody's chateau.
Literally.
Wow. The
How the other
transition's
half lives.
impeccable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Marilyn imagined that the estate would be beautiful in the sun, and she could hardly wait for the weather to break and the warm breezes to herald blossoming things. There were dogwood trees all around the house, along with small shrubs. The dogwoods were in bud already.
Wow.
I just feel like we could have rethought that sentence a little bit. There were dogwood trees all around the house, along with small shrubs. The dogwoods were in bud already. I don't know, I feel like that's a little bit weird. Anyway, she carried her suitcase...
Dogwoods
regionally.
of which?
Dogwood?
Well,
That's a great
Georgia is
question.
where, like, the guy started, but let me find Dogwood.
Where's Diana Palmer from? Yeah, research.
Yeah.
Dogwood.
Dogwoods are in the south.
Because I'm thinking...
Yeah. Eastern North America and Northern Mexico, so, yeah. An endemic population once spanned from southernmost Maine to south northern Florida. Huh?
We wanted to know where Diana Palmer is from.
Oh, shoot! So, Diana Palmer
She's
spans
from
from
Georgia.
southern Maine.
Wait,
No, I feel like she's not from Georgia. She might be from Wyoming, because that's all them cowboy books.
Well,
Suzanne Kyle,
Georgia. And she writes under a fake name. Her real name is Susan.
Suzanne Eloise Spaeth.
Susan.
Born Cuthbert, Georgia.
yup.
So, yeah.
I don't know, she was giving... Never mind.
The Winter Soldier by New York Times
Oh, she
bestselling
is
author
from-
Diane Palmer.
She
is from Georgia.
Georgia? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she's from Georgia.
Okay.
So, could be self.
We really are
This
about
could
to
be
make
a
herself
self-insert, yeah.
This could be self-insert,
100%.
where she, she refused her father's railroad company.
Yeah, wait, can you find out, when she, started writing and then, what was her career like
Yeah,
in
was she already
1984? Was she,
rich?
established? Yeah. She's like, I've done all my fucking cowboy books. Now it's time to get serious.
Okay. Born December 11, 1946, Cuthbert, Georgia, and has published romantic novels since 1979.
Okay, so a couple years in.
Right before. Well, in October 1972, she married James Edward Kyle with blank, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't look like they had like a separation, so that's what I was like. My first thought was like immediately thinking about like.
I know. I feel like she had like 4 husbands.
She's married, writing a self-insert, and her husband's like, "Honey, why are you single in your rich fantasy?"
Why is your?
Well, we don't know if it's
like betrayed.
We don't know if I think her self-insert is the like Lila Thorpe lady.
Crap.
So we don't know if she's single.
I thought it said lives alone except for her husband.
Oh yeah, it did. Oh my god, it literally said that. You're so right.
Oh my god.
Her husband died tragically.
Order.
In the railroad.
In the railroad.
Business.
It all comes back. Anyway,
she carried her suitcase up to the front porch and rang the doorbell. How old are doorbells? She knocked on the door. A small, thin woman in a cotton dress let her in. I'm Tilly, she introduced herself. I'm just scared of Tilly a little bit. I feel like there's going to be... Anyway, we'll find out.
Okay.
She introduced herself. Mrs. Thorpe is in the living room, if you'll follow me. There was a quick scurrying sound on the staircase in the long hall. Marilyn got a glimpse of a dark-haired, dark-eyed girl of about 12 who hesitated a few steps up. Hello, Marilyn grinned, tossing back her long black hair. I'm Marilyn Forrest, she said, deliberately leaving off the steel. The child, obviously shy, stared at her, unsmiling. Hello, she said after a minute. This is a lovely house, Marilyn said. Do you live here with Mrs. Thorpe? She's my grandmother. Oh, does Cameron Thorpe have a kid?
So it is
the love interest?
Okay.
Jane Eyre the governess. Well. Okay, show me the crazy ex-wife.
How formal the child sounded. How repressed. Why did she live with her grandmother? Where were her parents? Was Cameron Thorpe, the man her father had mentioned, this little girl's father? This way, miss, Tilly called when she realized that Marilyn was lagging behind. Yes, excuse me, Marilyn said. She winked at the girl and walked on. Lila Thorpe was tall, thin, and graying and had twinkling eyes. She held out a slender hand. She skinnily held out her skinny, slender, thin hand to shake Marilyn's...
Literally was like, her father was so proud that she was so skinny.
To shake Marilyn's extended one. You must be Marilyn, she said, smiling. I'm so glad you're here. I simply can't research and write at the same time. And I have this incredible pull toward English royalty at the moment. What do you know about the Plantagenets? Plantagenets? Does anybody know? Plantagenets?
Plants.
Why do I feel like if Dylan was here, he'd be like, it's Plantagenet. And the Tudors.
Okay, I know a lot about the Tudors.
Okay.
I don't know these other hosts.
We don't know about the Plantagenets, but we've got the Tudors. Probably saying that.
Royal family ruled from England.
Plantagenet,
what?
probably.
Just old royal family. Plantagenet? I don't know, probably. Dylan would know. Anyways.
Hopefully that's the only time it'll show up in this book. Marilyn caught her breath with a little laugh. In fact, just a smattering, though the English kings have always fascinated me. But I brought my history books along, and I can find anything you need. How about that? Perfect, Lila sighed. Is she going to live here? The little girl asked from the doorway. Marilyn turned and found the child hesitating at the door. She was wearing a white and brown cotton frock, knee-high socks, and patent leather shoes. She had a manner that was much older than her years and eyes that didn't smile. Yes, ugly. Lila said warmly. She said uglily. Come in, Amanda, and meet Marilyn Forrest. She's going to help me research my new book. She told me her name in the hall, Amanda murmured. Yes, I did, but you didn't tell me yours, Marilyn said warmly. Did you know that, turning the page, Amanda means worthy of love? It was my mother's middle name. The child's huge eyes widened. Really? Her shoulders hunched. My mother is dead. So is mine.
Face.
Yeah, so is mine, Marilyn said with quiet sympathy. Oh, so is
That's
mine.
iconic.
It's rather lonely, isn't it? At least you have your grandmother. Amanda tilted her head, studying the newcomer. Marilyn was wearing jeans and Marilyn was wearing a simple dress. She had purposefully
and it said
avoided
Levi's on it.
I keep forgetting this is supposed to be in the 20th century.
I mean, I'm fully imagining the 80s. I can't help it.
Really?
I'm in the 19th century.
Yeah,
too.
right,
Like
me too.
I'm seeing her in like a dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm seeing like a dress and stuff like that.
I'm imagining
And then like an old rickety. I'm seeing the CPUs everywhere.
She had purposefully avoided designer pieces, choosing instead clothes in some medium price range that wouldn't arouse suspicion. But with her usual flair, she was wearing a vibrant Mexican poncho over the outfit. I guess that actually would work for either. She looked colorful and bright and a little nonconformist. Okay.
What the fuck?
Alright, the Mexican poncho kind of threw me off a little bit.
That's so pretty, Amanda remarked of the poncho. It's like a rainbow. I got it. I mean, a friend brought it to me from Mexico, Marilyn said. In fact, it had been purchased by Marilyn herself in Mexico City. But it wouldn't do to let them know how well-traveled she was. She grinned. I'll let you wear it sometime if you like. Amanda brightened, and then her face fell and she shrugged. Daddy wouldn't let me, she muttered. He won't even let me wear, simple dresses. He's afraid I'll grow up to be a tomboy. Daddy sure must be weird, Marilyn thought, but she didn't say anything. My son is a banker, Lila confided. My only living child. There was another boy, but he was stillborn. Cam is all I have now. His wife died some years ago.
Met.
I know!
She just met this
But
woman.
I do
like,
kind of like, I have
stillborn.
met some like old ladies who
Deep
just like
dive.
decide to like tell me everything.
Okay, that's
you know?
fair.
Odd
Okay,
wording,
fair.
Marilyn thought. Okay, so she's aware. Odd wording,
okay,
Marilyn
good.
thought, as Tilly brought coffee and cake on a tray and interrupted the conversation. It was strange that Lila hadn't called her late daughter-in-law by name. But that was... Oh, wait, what?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, okay, so I guess she didn't say, like, what the name was of... It's Tilly.
Oh yeah, no.
But that was none of her business, and she wasn't the interfering sort. The son sounded awful. She was glad he didn't live at the lake house. For an instant, she had feared that her father might be matchmaking again, but she quickly dismissed the idea. Cameron Thorpe probably looked like Dracula. Certainly he sounded like him. Marilyn and Lila spent a pleasant afternoon getting to know each other. Surprisingly, Amanda stayed with them. She seemed drawn to Marilyn. Marilyn felt a tug of affection herself, because she'd been lonely like that after her mother's death, when her father had buried himself in his work and had no time for her. Perhaps that was Amanda's problem, too. By bedtime, Marilyn had some idea of Lila's working schedule and the scope of the project. She pored over her text before she went to bed, seeking out bits and pieces of information to give Lila the next morning. She liked her room. It overlooked the lake and featured French provincial furniture, right down to the canopied bed and a blue and white color scheme. Already she felt at home. She was going to prove to her father once and for all that she could make it without his fortune. She could make it with Lila's fortune. Just kidding. After Adam, she wanted no more attempts at matchmaking. Adam. Funny, when he'd let it slip that he expected to become her father's business partner at the same time that he became her husband, she hadn't really been heartbroken. She didn't even cry when he made it clear that the marriage wouldn't take place without the partnership. Her pride was hurt much more than her heart. She sighed and put Adam out of her mind. She couldn't seem to settle down that night. Perhaps it was the new environment, the unfamiliar surroundings. Or maybe it was the thunderstorm raging outside. She got up to make herself a cup of hot chocolate. Maybe a warm drink would help her to sleep. Out in the hallway, it was pitch black. Uh-oh, I feel like she's going to run into somebody. Okay.
Oh my god, wait a
This
minute. This is going back to...
Oh, God.
Starting to sound... Hold on. Okay, never mind, I'm not going to say anything. Alright,
Out in the hallway, it was pitch black. It must be close to midnight, Marilyn thought. The rest of the household was asleep. The darkness was sporadically lit by flashes of lightning from the storm. Getting her bearings during one of the lightning bursts, she hurried down the hall, turned the corner, and ran headlong into a formidable barrier. Oh!
Is it the man?
Well, that was the end of chapter 1. But I'll read chapter 2.
Doesn't like him.
What notes do we have? I'll take a moment to pause.
I can't believe that it actually is going to turn into Jane Eyre.
I am excited too. This is sounding like it's building up to the prologue, whatever those first two sentences were. Immediately when it was like it's dark, there's storm outside, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
I did peek ahead, and it does look like that's what happens.
That quickly too. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Look, hey, we only have. Let's see, how long is this book? We only have 248 pages. We have got to get
this
to
house
it.
is gonna burn to the ground.
Because the amount of stuff that happened in those first two sentences, if that's happening in chapter 2, I'm like, oh, that's quick. That was fast. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Or maybe she just ran into a wall. You never know.
Maybe.
She just ran into. Or there's a wall.
She just runs into a wall. That's it.
End of story.
There's no romance.
All right, so chapter 2.
Yeah.
Marilyn hated him immediately. Of course, he couldn't have known that she'd be standing in the middle of the hall in the dark at 12 o'clock at night. On the other hand, she hadn't expected him to blow in. On the other hand, she hadn't expected him to blow in out of a horrible thunderstorm and knock her down, onto the thick pile of carpet. Ooh!
Oh my.
Of Alva came a voice as black and deep as thunder rumbling. Who the hell are you? She threw back her long black hair. The next lightning flash caught her glaring into a face that would have gone well with a copy of Jane Eyre and antique furniture.
What the hell?
Is that word for word what it says?
Yes. He was bigger than any man she'd ever met face to face. Tall, built like a wrestler. Hands like hams, holding a black attaché case and an umbrella. He wasn't wearing a hat, and his hair was thick and black and bushy and needed trimming. He was wearing a blue pinstriped suit, and the eyes she couldn't quite see under his heavy eyebrows seemed to throw off sparks. Why don't you watch where you're going? She shot back, too shaken to get up. You were moving like a freight train. I can't figure out. Oh, wait, no. This is still her talking. You were moving like a freight train. Come to think of it, she added darkly, you look a little like one. Get up from there. Yes, sir, she said smartly, glaring at him as she pulled herself to her feet. She didn't like the way he was looking at her, so she pulled the thin blue robe closer around her shoulder, half-clad body. Closer around her slender, half-clad body, skinnily.
Skinnily. Crucial.
Her feet were bare. She hadn't thought about slippers. She hadn't even brought any, come to think of it. Well, he growled. Oh, sorry. Well. That, she said with a sweet smile, is a deep subject. And you look like a man with a shallow mind. Were you invited, or are you a cat burglar? She looked him up and down. Why are they... Where's sorry I ran into you? What is this, immediate meanness?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was doing a great impression of a man about to explode. Make that an elephant, burglar. Boy, I'd love to see you try to sneak up on somebody. That was still her. Make that an elephant, burglar. Boy, I'd love to see you try to sneak up on somebody. Her grin didn't seem to impress him much. He slammed the attaché case to the floor. Who the hell are you? Miss Jane Eyre, sir, she said, making him a sweeping curtsy. I've come to tutor the youngster and provide romantic interest for you. Oh, wow.
Oh, what?
Wait, did she actually...
She said that. Okay, girl. Get it?
She's crazy for that.
Wait,
oh, my God. I don't believe this. Oh, what?
Didn't want to provide romantic interest anymore?
Yeah, I guess she's, teasing him. She's
okay.
yeah.
Okay, fair.
I really did not think it was going to be quite so literal when it said "eat your heart out."
I know, they really are like, every couple of pages they have to throw in like a direct, like, Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
Capital J,
They're
capital
like,
E.
In case you hadn't noticed, you guys.
It's Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre,
Jane
eat your
Eyre.
heart out.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, side note, immediately when he said he had like bushy eyebrows and stuff like that, my imagination just immediately, all I see is just Guy Sensei right now.
Shut the.
Wait, I don't know what that looks
And
like.
we're
Can
going with
you
it.
send a picture of that?
Yeah, I'll send you guys. I'll send you guys Sensei.
Gonna wish you had.
This is gonna.
One of the best characters
Tell
in
me
Naruto.
I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, he ain't called Bushy Brow Sensei for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Here, I'll send it in this chat. This is gonna ruin my reading. Actually, no, this is gonna elevate my reading experience. I freaking love Guy Sensei. This is gonna be amazing.
Start and stop
What
the
are you
recording
doing in my
second.
house?
Okay. Oh my god!
What's the Guy Sensei? What are you doing in my house?
It's perfect.
That's our MC. I mean, that's not our MC. That's
our love interest, whatever. Li. Oh my god, I don't believe this, he muttered, running a hand over his unshaven face. 6 hours on airplanes, 2 waiting in baggage claim. Lady, unless you want to... Oh yeah, sorry.
I was on the train.
6 hours on the train, 2 waiting for my bag. Lady, unless you want to spend what's left of the night in the nearest police station, you damned well better come up with some quick answers. There's a phone in the living room, she suggested. I'll look up the number for you. He moved forward, and she moved backward. Now, she cautioned, stumbling. Temper, you'll hurt yourself. Not damned likely, he said darkly, and kept coming.
What?
Mrs. Thorpe! Marilyn screamed, and went tearing off down the hall toward that lady's room.
God damn.
And went tearing off toward that lady's room. That's so funny.
Ladies, you know when he's
turned
violent?
off towards. Okay.
Oh,
she turned off in that direction to, I don't know.
Toward that lady's room. But the way she called her, like, that lady. Anyway. What? Lila appeared in her doorway, looking disheveled and drowsy. She gaped at Marilyn cowering against the wall, and then at the big, angry man almost on her. Cameron, she exclaimed, a smile appearing on her lined face. Well, what an unexpected delight on a horrible evening like this. Come here and let me look at you, dear. I see you've already met Marilyn Forrest, she continued, smiling at the younger woman pressed against the wall. Marilyn, this is my son Cameron. Your son? Marilyn blinked. This is your son? She stared at the man, who was easily twice his mother's weight, and the exact opposite of her. Okay, yeah, wait, in what world... Sorry, this just hit me, but in what world are you, like, a strange man in the middle of the night, and you're flirting with him immediately?
Yeah, that's...
But also, he, like, goes for the kill.
Yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, she stared at the man who was easily twice his mother's weight, and the exact opposite of her fair coloring. Who is she? Cameron Thorpe asked coldly. Now, dear, his mother began. Who? Marilyn Forrest, Lila said, exasperated. Don't you remember that I was looking for someone to help me do some research on my new book? He stared at Marilyn as if he couldn't imagine that she had enough brains to be able to read. Damn. How'd you find her? He asked curtly. In the yellow pages, Marilyn murmured, under Brilliant Research Associates. He gave her a hard look. Mother, he persisted. Lila sighed. A friend of yours, in fact, that Jack Thomas. He knew someone who knew someone. Does she have credentials? He asked with a suspicious... Oh, suspicious?
Suspicious.
Glance at Marilyn.
Suspicious.
I have a B.A. in history, Marilyn said sweetly. And pretending hostility toward me will not work, sir. You and I were obviously meant for each other. You just won't admit it. She batted her long eyelashes demurely. It was like lightning striking when our eyes met. What the fuck? Why is she being like that? Okay.
Yeah, what?
She's crazy.
Don't piss me off, Marilyn. Okay.
Easy.
He muttered something she was glad she didn't really hear and went back to pick up his umbrella and attaché case. Lila was trying not to smile. Cameron, don't you dare try to scare off my new assistant, she said after a minute. I can't do this book alone, and I have to have Marilyn for the next month at least. A month? He looked hunted. Hunted?
Hunted.
Okay.
That's
Haunted?
interesting vocabulary. Haunted? Yeah, haunted, I see.
Nah,
Haunted.
he's
He
like
looked hunted.
cornered by how hard she's trying to
It's like
raise him up.
It's just-
Oh, okay.
And how bad he wants to murder her for real.
She'll be company for Amanda and me, Lila said shortly. Amanda likes her. So this was the little girl's father, Marilyn thought. Cameron, the cold heart, capital C, capital H. He did fit the image of a businessman who was all business all the time.
He's a businessman.
A businessman who's all business. Anyway, no wonder the little girl looked so repressed. She didn't have a chance with a father like that. She studied Cameron Thorpe quietly and wondered how he'd look in red polka-dotted boxer shorts. She had to bite her lip hard to keep from bursting out laughing.
Oh no, he's hot!
I thought children were supposed to be perceptive, he muttered. Marilyn gave him the once-over and tugged her blue robe closer. I'm so glad you like me, Mr. Thorpe, she sighed theatrically. She grinned. I like you too. Dark, somber men really turn me on. I hate her. She's like
I know.
being so weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
Once
And
again.
again, he was physically threatening like 10 seconds ago.
Right? Anyway.
They're like, oh, you.
I don't. This fake flirting is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Once again, he looked as though he might explode. His mother, kind soul, moved quickly in front of Marilyn.
Oh.
Now, dear, she told Cameron gently. It's late and you must be tired. Why don't you get some rest? Can you stay the entire weekend? Yes, he said. And if you could keep Jane Eyre here out of my sight. Oh, out of sight while my guests are in residence? Guests? Lila asked. Charlotte and Del Radnor, he said. They're coming up from Atlanta tomorrow. Lila sighed. Oh. She didn't look enthusiastic. Of course, your friends are welcome. You'll get used to them, he promised her with a slight softening. I suppose I'll have to, came the resigned reply. I suppose one of them is your girlfriend, Marilyn said, letting her full lips pout at him. Well, I want you to know that my heart is broken, just broken, and I did love you at first sight. What was your name again? He started to speak, then sliced the air with that big hand, turned on his heel and stomped off down the hall with steps heavy enough to rattle the glass in the windows. Lila collapsed in muffled laughter. Tears welled in her eyes. Oh, Marilyn, you're so good for me. I've never seen him like that before. I don't imagine many people have, Marilyn mused, glancing down the deserted hall. My goodness, he frightened me to death when he came storming in. I remember that you had a son, but you hadn't mentioned that he'd be coming tonight. I'd forgotten in the excitement of your arrival, Lila replied with a smile. He did drop a hint that he might invite Dell and her mother up for the weekend while they were visiting relatives in Atlanta. It's not far, you know. She looked momentarily worried. Charlotte Radnor. Here. She sighed heavily. I can hardly believe she'd actually braved the great outdoors long enough to blemish her white skin. Which one is the girlfriend? Marilyn asked hesitantly. Dell, came the hard reply. She's Mama's little girl. Oh my, the Radnors. Here. And I did so want to start work tomorrow. No matter. We'd better get some sleep, dear. Maybe we can work around them.
Wow.
Any thoughts?
I'm in it.
I'm
And I
in
hate it.
Dude, I'm so confused at this child.
Yeah, I feel like that went crazy.
I've been doing some preliminary research tonight, Marilyn said as they walked down the hall together. I think I found you a feisty period in the founding of the Tudor line. Would that suit? Hi, Friday. Do you hear that? Hi, what's going on? I think. He doesn't have any attention. Lila's eyes brightened.
Yeah.
Perfect! I can save the, Plantagenets for another book. By all means, let's start there. In the morning, we can start laying out the plot. This is going to be great fun, she said with a smile. I hope so, Marilyn said dryly, glancing down the hall where Cameron Thorpe had disappeared. Don't worry, you and I will be a match for him, Lila promised. I just wish that once or twice he'd come alone and spend some time with Amanda. He's only here on the weekends, and she's been with me most of her life. Cameron divorced her mother years ago, and he got custody, but he lives in Charleston, and he really doesn't have anyone else to leave her with. So why doesn't she live in Charleston?
Did you get...
Yeah. Oh, her mother's dead now, as you know. Everybody's got a dead... Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, it's the same dead
She's
mom.
definitely not dead.
Wait, so he divorced his wife, and then that wife passed?
Yeah,
allegedly?
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why can't Dell keep her? Marilyn asked matter-of-factly. Lila looked horrified. Dell? Look after a child? Sorry, Marilyn murmured. She was beginning... Oh, is there going to be, like, a theme of, like, Marilyn's, like, more motherly and therefore more worthy of the man?
Probably.
Anyway. Sorry, Marilyn murmured. What? I thought you were going to say something. Never mind. She was beginning to get an interesting picture of Cameron's so-called friends. I'm sorry that Cameron upset you, Lila said, letting the subject of Dell drop, as though it bothered her. In all fairness to him, Marilyn replied, he couldn't have expected to find me wandering the halls. I was going to make myself a cup of hot chocolate, but after all this excitement, I'm so exhausted, I think I'll be able to sleep without it. You'll love it here when the rains stop, Lila promised. I've lived on the lake for 4 years now, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. It's so peaceful. And when the weather begins to get warm, as it will be soon, there will be sailboats dotting the lake. I've seen the lake from the road many times, Marilyn murmured, not wanting to mention her friend Dick's enormous house, which was right on the lake. It provides drinking water for Atlanta and the metro area. Atlanta and the, surrounding area. As well as being a marvelous recreational facility. Isn't that right? Lila smiled. My, you seem quite familiar with the area already. Sleep well, my dear. You too. Marilyn shot one last glance down the hall before she went into her room and quickly closed the door. Talk about flies in the ointment. What? Cameron Thorpe was going to be trouble, and she had a feeling that his lady friends were going to foul things up too. All her confidence in being able to maintain her new identity was draining away. She'd have to be on her guard every minute, or she'd blow her cover. It looked as if this job wasn't going to be the plum she'd first expected it to be. Well, she thought with a sigh, as she climbed into bed and pulled up the covers, perhaps things will improve tomorrow. They didn't! The next morning, which dawned clear and warm, Cameron Thorpe was sitting at the breakfast table on the patio with his mother when Marilyn walked in. The look he gave her would have stopped horse traffic. His dark eyes, they were almost black at close range, deep set under a jutting brow, ran up and down Marilyn's slender figure. Whoa.
Slender.
She was dressed in faded blue skirt and a flaming orange dress that read, "Kiss me, I'm a frog."
Classic 19th century look.
Yeah, you know how you embroider that on your skirts? Her long black hair fell over her shoulders, and her eyes were a pale, sparkling green. She wasn't beautiful like her late mother, but she had delicate features and a perfect figure. And normally she dressed with a flair that set her apart. Hi. Today, however, she'd deliberately worn her most outlandish dress, hoping to get a rise out of Mr. Conservative. And she did. Immediately. Do you normally dress like that? Cameron asked. Why, yes, when I'm not going naked, she replied with a careless smile. Friday. Stop. She stared at him. He was wearing a dark business suit with a dark tie and a white, shirt, I guess. That's accurate. She'd have bet that he had a closet full of them, all alike. More eggs, Cameron? Lila asked. Oh, of course, he's like a protein bro with the eggs. Anyway. Lila asked quickly as Marilyn sat down and helped herself to toast and coffee. No thanks, he said, and his eyes never left Marilyn. His face was broad and hard. His nose was formidable, and he had a jaw as square as the way he dressed. Sizing me up, Marilyn asked. Oh my god.
Oh.
I wear size 10 skirts and a medium shirt. And there's nothing underneath, she whispered, leaning forward. I hate her, bro. I can't
what is she trying to do?
Yeah,
I thought, okay, she says that she's not committed, like, or she doesn't want to, like, like, find partner.
But she's like,
and then
involved.
I thought she was, is she still teasing at this point?
She totally is. She just went like, and there's nothing underneath.
Yeah.
But
that's so funny. I feel like the author just threw in like her size so that the people reading it can be like, oh my god, she's just like me.
Yeah.
Is
I wear a medium. Anyway. He came as close to a flush as she'd ever seen a man come, and his black eyes glittered at her.
Sorry.
I don't find your attitude amusing, he said curtly, and I won't have my daughter subjected to remarks like that. Amanda isn't downstairs yet, Marilyn told him, and you're hardly a child, she studied him. Mrs. Thorpe said you were a banker. Yes, he said, sounding as if he found speaking to her distasteful. How exciting, she murmured, stifling a yawn. She's such a bitch.
Bro, she is.
Where did you take your degree? He asked out of the blue. The University of Georgia. Go Bulldogs. Side note. Did you specialize? He persisted as he sipped his coffee. Not really, she returned. I enjoy ancient history as well as other periods. What qualifies you to be a research assistant? He chided. Do you have references? Are you the reincarnation of the Spanish Inquisition? She shot back. Really, Mr. Thorpe, my qualifications satisfied your mother. They certainly did, Lila seconded. She frowned. Cameron, I've never known you to be so rude to a guest. We've never had a guest like this, he said, glancing up and down Marilyn's figure.
Oh, boy.
How sad for you, Marilyn smiled, but at long last, here I am. I've got to make a phone call, he muttered, glaring at Marilyn as he got to his feet. 5 more minutes of Jane Eyre there, and I'll be searching for a blunt instrument.
Oh, yeah, because he's violent.
Oh, God.
How kinky, Marilyn said, grinning. Usually men are wildly excited when the way that she does this shit when his fucking mom is there.
I know.
Wait, that's so...
I know. I can't. She's being, like, creepy.
In front of his mom. No, you're Loki.
Usually men are wildly excited when they get to that point. Are you by any chance trying to seduce me over the scrambled eggs? His mother had already turned away with a napkin over her mouth. If I were 80 with terminal acne, I wouldn't be so desperate, he replied. You'll be heartbroken when you realize what you're passing up, Marilyn called after him. The hall door slammed behind him, and Lila made strangled sounds in her napkin. Poor Cameron, Lila said finally. He's so domineering with women. Not this one, Marilyn informed her smugly. I'm a free spirit. Basically, I hate men.
I'm special.
Is there a reason? Marilyn smiled. Yes, a fiancé who turned out to be Dracula. I broke the engagement, and now I'm trying to get myself back together. I'm sorry. So am I, Marilyn said. I was ready to settle down. I'm 26, after all. I wouldn't mind a husband and children. An old hag.
I mean, it's really over for her, TBH.
But it's going to take some time to forget what happened. You're still young, my dear, Lila said with a smile. So I am, Marilyn agreed. Then she changed the subject. Where are we going to work? Inside? She asked, casting a wary eye toward the house. That wouldn't be intelligent, wouldn't it? Lila laughed. I can see you now, hurling things at Cameron. Only a few sticks of furniture, Marilyn protested. She sighed. Don't worry, Mrs. Thorpe, I'll get used to him. After all, I got used to asparagus and squash casserole. Lila laughed merrily. Call me Lila, not Mrs. Thorpe, and yes, I think you'll get used to my son, and he to you, in time. It will do him good to learn that not every woman thinks he's the final authority. She got to her feet. Like, what has he done for her to, like...
Well, we have to remember, he did threaten to hit her.
Did he?
I mean,
Did he?
he was storming towards her
Oh yeah.
and was like threatening her to the point that she screamed.
Yeah.
That was after she was like being all weird to him.
Yeah.
Though. She like immediately started that.
Night?
Like in the night, they bumped into each other. She was like weird and flirty with him, and then he like got angry and.
Yeah, but is that the appropriate response?
No, absolutely not. No, this man sucks.
Yeah. I think they both suck.
Yeah, they're perfect for each other.
I'm not really liking either. Oh yeah, double negative.
Yeah, anyway. She got to her feet. Since it's so warm, we'll hash out some preliminaries here on the patio, she added. I'll get my legal pad and you can fetch me those history books I watched you lug up the staircase yesterday. I'll get them right now, Marilyn said. Minutes later, she came back downstairs with an armload of books, fortunately without running into the lord of the manor. Amanda's late this morning, Marilyn remarked as she seated herself at the little white table. Yes, but not unusually so, Lila said with a smile. She sat down across from Marilyn. With school out for spring holidays, she doesn't get up until 11. She sighed, and the smile faded. Poor child, she's so lonely. Cameron has very little time. He could make time if he wanted to, Marilyn said quietly. My own childhood was lonely. My mother died when I was about Amanda's age, and my father missed her terribly. Instead of turning to me, he turned to his work. It wasn't until I was well into my teens that he suddenly discovered he was a parent. We've grown closer, but there was quite a gulf between us during those first few years without Mama. I'm afraid that Cameron's work is his whole life, Lila said. She stared at her slender, elegant hand on the table. His late wife was not the kind of person he needed. Marcia, okay, name, was wildly exciting, I suppose, but not at all domestic. She hated children. If Cameron hadn't threatened to toss her to the press, she'd have had an abortion. Okay. Feeling some judgment towards the abortion. She left him just after Amanda was born. She was killed several years later in an automobile accident. A tragic affair all around. Did Amanda know her at all? Marilyn asked. No, Marcia considered Amanda a liability, not an asset. She's not the most beautiful child in the world, despite her sweet nature and kind heart. Although I doubt Marcia would have wanted her anyway. She just didn't have any maternal instinct at all. How sad, Marilyn said quietly, and it's even sadder that her father gives her so little of himself. He'll regret that one day. He probably will, but he doesn't listen to advice, my dear. I noticed, Marilyn replied dryly. Keep right on ruffling him, Marilyn, the older woman said. Maybe it will help. Oh, that doesn't take much effort, ruffling him, she assured her colleague. I have a feeling my very existence is enough to do the trick. Pausing for notes. There's more.
I gotta say, like, after, like, all the, like, the descriptions of this guy, like, how square he is and, like how he thunders around the house, you know who I have in my head? Like, hear me out. Frankenstein from Hotel Transylvania.
Oh?
Maybe that's weird.
My God, yeah, I kind of am with you though, like, just like a big, stupid, like...
Maybe, okay.
No.
I think my imagination's going a bit too far. Please continue.
They're both just awful.
They were hard at work, discussing possibilities for fictional characters during the reign of Henry VII, the founder of the Tudor line, when Amanda came downstairs. Lila was right, Marilyn thought. The little girl favored her father, and she was nobody's idea of beautiful. Damn. God.
Hell.
Oh. It's
child, bro.
Too skinny. God bless her. She was gangly and thin and nervous, and those huge eyes swallowed her face. Okay. Okay, she's ugly because her eyes are too, like, big, and she's too skinny.
No.
Right. Notoriously ugly features. Big, beautiful eyes.
It's kind of an insane commentary on how the standard changes, though, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Probably when she grew up, she'd surprise everybody by being a beauty, though. Often it was the ugly ducklings who made the most beautiful swans, simply by taking advantage of what they had and making the most of it. Good morning, Marilyn said brightly, and smiled. Amanda smiled too. It was hard not to, when their visitor had such a contagiously sunny disposition. Good morning, Miss Marilyn, she said. Good morning, Grandmamma. Have you had breakfast? Lila asked the child. No, ma'am, Amanda murmured. She sat down on the glider, her hands folded on her skirt, her long hair in neat pigtails, her blouse spotless. Why not? Lila prodded. I didn't like to ask Mrs. Sims to fix it just for me, Amanda said shyly. Nonsense, Lila said. Tilly doesn't mind. And Amanda, it isn't as if we don't pay her. Now go and ask her for what you want. But I'm not hungry, the child insisted. Lila sighed heavily. Oh, Amanda, you're just skin and bones. She certainly is. Oh, Cameron boomed, joining them.
Hey, kid, you're ugly. See you Monday.
I see. Weekend dad. Good lord.
Yeah.
Also, Cameron, can you fuck off? Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Cameron boomed, joining them. His dark, unsmiling eyes studied his daughter's thinness. Get in the house and eat, he said curtly. Yes, father, Amanda said in a subdued tone. She got up without raising her eyes and went back into the house. My, what a way you have with children, Mr. Thorpe, Marilyn said sweetly. All the diplomacy of a rocket launcher, in fact. Shut up, he told her coldly, his dark eyes daring her to make another statement.
Shut up!
I will say, for an enemies to lovers, like, it is starting and, like, wow, I can't really see them having any chemistry at all. Like,
No,
he
not
has
at all.
established the, like, oh, they are never going to work out. So I guess we'll see how they do work out, but it doesn't look good to me.
Let's see how they sell this to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enemies, but, like, there's no reconciliation. No point for reconciliation so
Enemies
far.
end sentence.
Enemies.
She got to her feet. Look here, she said. You may order Amanda around, but I'm a big girl. I'm here to work, not to... Then why don't you work, Miss Forrest, and leave my daughter's upbringing to me? He asked coolly. Mr. Thorpe, she persisted. Your duties include research, I believe, Miss Forrest, not child psychology, Cameron went on, not giving his mother a chance to interfere. Marilyn's green eyes glittered at him. My father used to be just like you, she said angrily. All work, all ice. I grew up on the mercy of neighbors. I wonder how you're going to feel when Amanda is old enough to leave home, and if she'll say the same things to you that I said to my father. He gave her one last glare before he turned and went back into the house, slamming the door behind him. God, I hate him. Oh my, Lila murmured. Sorry, Marilyn grumbled as she sat back down. He makes me so mad. I did have a lot of terrible things to say to my father at one time. We're good friends now, but we weren't always. He and your son would get along just fine. Yes, well, I'm sorry about all this, Lila said. He isn't the most relaxing person to work around, even if he is my son. I had no right to say those things to him, Marilyn said after a minute, cooler now. I'll apologize if you like. And make him even more smug than he already is, Lila exclaimed. You will not. Marilyn laughed. All right, then. Amanda came back minutes later, looking puzzled yet happy. Daddy sat with me while I had breakfast, she said. He hasn't done that in a long time. He even talked to me. Marilyn and Lila exchanged shocked, faintly amused glances before they got back to work. That's the end of chapter 2.
My god. This is wild. It's so 80s.
It's so... I don't like the characters at all.
Yeah. I kind of want to get to page 50 so that... Let's see, because then we would... Well, let's see, when does chapter 3 end?
Well,
I really do. I'm just drawn and listening to an audiobook.
Chapter 3 ends on page 76.
No, honestly,
we're on 40. What?
oh,
Just saying, I'm just drawing and listening to this complicated audiobook.
I am confused, but I can't like lock out. I'm so confused by it, but at the same time I'm so invested.
Yeah. It's got me there.
Who's y'all's favorite so far?
The mom.
Lila?
The mom. 100% the mom. Oh my gosh. She's like funny and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's carrying this duo.
The self-insert.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite is
Oh,
Marilyn.
maybe.
I mean, I
What
don't
is
really
it?
like. I think my least favorite is Marilyn. She's just like irking me.
Yeah.
But also,
I-
he is a
it's
very
just-
close second.
Yeah.
Dude, I like don't like I honestly don't like Cameron more than Marilyn. He's such an ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I mean,
At least Marilyn
perhaps
is
they
kinda
are
like-
perfectly
yeah.
matched because I don't like either of them.
Perhaps.
Exactly.
Could
You know,
be
maybe
so.
they are made for each other. Maybe so.
Shall we?
Bro, poor child.
I know, poor
Yeah,
Amanda.
yeah.
Amanda's a yeah.
Like, she's getting so much hate. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, bro,
Captain
she's
Furious.
just a shy little dude, bro.
I
Just
know.
living her life. But yeah.
It's giving. Have any of you by chance seen the Hallmark movie A Christmas Prince? My friend Lauren and I are obsessed
I've
with
not,
it.
no.
It's so bad, but it's like so
No.
good. Also, like in the
Wait, but I watched Jenny Nicholson review it.
Okay, perfect. I love like
Like-
horrible Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is giving that.
It
It's a
is.
very similar like. Anyway. Chapter 3. Lila scribbled on a yellow legal pad, and Amanda played quietly with a doll, while Marilyn dug into several volumes of information on the Tudors. But her mind was wandering, tugged away unwillingly by the conversation she'd had with Cameron earlier. My, wouldn't Cameron Thorpe's eyes bulge if he could see her as she really was? She pursed her lips and fantasized about coming down the stairs of her father's townhouse in her white Bill Blass original with her blue faux boa draped lovingly over her bare well, how do I make this? Well, I'll just read it the way it is. Bare shoulders, her
I
hair,
want to know. I want to know.
her hair in a high coiffure, with a diamond tiara, coiffure,
Yeah.
and her mother's
I'm sorry,
diamond
the
necklace
tiara is
and
crazy.
earrings gracing her milky complexion. She shook herself.
This is the 80s, right? Do people
Yeah.
in the 80s wear tiaras? Wait. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is an old that timepiece.
See, now I'm imagining like the 20s though, or
Right?
the like
No, okay,
early
yeah,
1900s
Like 60s.
exactly.
Titanic era.
Okay, she shook herself. Why destroy his illusions? Let him think what he liked. You said the history of the English kings had always fascinated you. Why? Lila asked, interrupting Marilyn's mental wanderings. She almost told the older woman the truth, that her own family history could be traced back to the time of the, oh my god, Plantagenets and Tudors. My kryptonite. But that would be giving away far too much. Actually, I had a cousin who was British, she said. Well, it was the truth. One you had a crush on? What the fuck?
What?
Lila pursued.
Huh?
Huh?
Hold on.
Marilyn pursed her lips and smiled, thinking about that cousin. Whoa.
What?
Richard
Whoa,
the Lion-Hearted.
whoa.
And the dashing picture he made in fact and fiction. You might
This,
say that, she agreed.
Not old enough. This story's not old enough, but maybe it is medieval times, gang.
You know, you love to see something so classic. Like, for the
so-
British royal family to be incestuous, like, it's kind of just, like, it's beautiful. It's like seeing cops eat a donut.
Oh, that's so relatable. Oh my god, no, what the fuck?
Oh god.
I really hope this is not a self-insert anymore.
I think that Lila is who the author. That's my take, but.
Oh, Georgia.
Okay, fair.
Oh, Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Oh, Georgia.
You must tell me all about him one day, Lila sighed as she studied her notes. This is going to be quite a feat when I really get started. I've only just roughed out the main characters. Marilyn, I'm fascinated by Uncle Jasper. The one who was responsible for Henry VII's ascension to the throne? Marilyn laughed delightedly. I'm finding great material on him. During the War of the Roses, he took his brother's widow, Margaret Beaumont, to his own castle at Pembroke and provided for her while she gave birth to his nephew Henry, who was to become Henry VII, father... Boring! Don't care! Father of Henry VIII.
Boring!
Jasper lost his fortune in the War of the Roses, conducted something of a commando campaign against the Yorks, and eventually rescued Henry Tudor from them. Henry, you see, was the last surviving male of the Lancastrian line. Their great enemies were the Yorks. Those were the two factions that fought the War of the Roses. But to get back to Jasper, he and Henry spent quite a while imprisoned in Brittany until the death of Edward IV, whose sons were captured by Richard III. Remember him? Anyway, a faction arose to support Henry's bid for the throne, with the help of some political maneuvering by his mother, Margaret Beaumont. Uncle Jasper helped to raise an army, which marched finally into battle against Richard III. Richard was killed.
He marched into battle.
Richard was killed after a valiant
Greatest
defense,
battle!
and Henry married Edward the Fourth's eldest daughter, Elizabeth of York, uniting the Lancasters and Yorks and ending the War of the Roses. Lila caught her breath. You do have it down pat, don't you? Not nearly as well as I'd like to, Marilyn confessed. There are a lot of questions about Jasper that I haven't found answers to yet, but he seems to have lived to a ripe old age and regained his fortunes. Lila pursed her lips and frowned. She tapped her pencil on the legal pad. What a fascinating man. Do you suppose... Her eyes cut sideways. Why not? Marilyn grinned. A fictional character patterned after him would be a natural, and the period is fascinating, as you'll see when we get further into it. I'm getting so caught up in it that I actually feel as if I can experience it in my mind. You should try writing, Lila told her. I feel the same way about my fictional people and the periods they inhabit. This is the first time I've dabbled in this particular period of English history, but I'm delighted that we discovered each other. Boring! Get to the screwing, the licking, and the sucking.
Come on!
So am I. Show me this.
Let me see the boobies!
Where's Cameron? So am I. Came the fervent reply. I'm enjoying it more than I can tell you. I'm very glad. I've been a fan of yours for years, Marilyn told the older woman. I do so enjoy the love scenes, she confessed sheepishly. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
She's
get on
just like
with
us.
them.
Okay.
And I still do them blindfolded because they embarrass me so, she confessed. What?
How you writing blindfolded, dog?
Yeah, wait, what?
Typing, I guess?
Well, but
Yeah,
it's the 19th century, Sai.
Oh, right.
Oh, my bad. Why, of
Exquisite
course it is.
Okay.
Only the
Lila.
most exquisite writers.
Exactly.
And I still do them blindfolded because they embarrass me so, she confessed. I'll bet they don't embarrass Miss Forrest, came a deep, unpleasant voice from the walkway between the rose garden and the patio. I want him to have, like, walk-in music. Like, maybe I'll edit it in later.
Please. Just every time he appears, just, like, some sort of, like, I don't know. Some really dramatic tune. I'm so in.
I'm gonna play, like, the intro to Sexy Back. Wham! 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 Marilyn looked up with arched eyebrows. Is that wishful thinking? She asked conversationally. Because you'd like to do one with me? Well, Mr. Rochester, you're not bad looking at all, but honestly, I did come up here to work, she told him with a sly smile. His eyes got darker. He was wearing a green pullover, knit designer shirt with tan breeches, and despite his size, he looked trim and elegant. Are you ever serious? When I balance my bank statement, it's enough to make me grim, she lied. Okay, her pretending to be poor.
Okay.
Oh my god, so relatable.
Did you want something, dear? Lila
Thank
asked
you.
before the conversation had a chance to deteriorate even more. Reluctantly, he shifted his gaze to his mother. Dell and Charlotte are on their way up. I thought you'd like to know before they walked in. They can only stay overnight. Dell has to fly to France in the morning to join her brother in Nice for a few days.
Take a boat to France.
Yeah. Lovely place, Nice, Marilyn sighed. Blue skies, white beaches. How would you know? Cameron scoffed. Oops, she thought, smiling to conceal her lapse. You don't believe that I might spend holidays there? She asked innocently. I do not, he said bluntly. Starting to like him, actually.
Yeah, no.
And his stare told her that he didn't think she could afford a bus ticket to Atlanta, much less a plane ticket to France. She shrugged. Well then, I won't bore you with tales of summers in my father's villa there. He ignored her. I've asked Tilly to go to Extra Pains for dinner this evening, he continued, and we'll dress. Charlotte and Dell are used to proper attire at dinner. He gave Marilyn a hard look. They're from Charleston. Old money. Marilyn let her jaw drop to show that she was suitably impressed. I would appreciate it, Miss Forrest, he added, if you could manage to control your rather unusual sense of humor during the visit. The Radners are rather special to me. Oh, don't you worry, sir. I know my place, Marilyn assured him. He looked as if he'd never smiled. Poor man, she thought. Probably he never had. She wondered what he was like in bed. He probably was less adventurous than Marilyn, and Marilyn was a virgin. She grinned at the thought of Cameron without clothes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
She's all talk. When I said dress, he added, I meant formal dress. I have this neat sweatshirt with lace on it, Marilyn began. But Cameron, Lila was protesting. Marilyn shouldn't be expected to... Oh, really, I have plans for the evening, Marilyn assured them, with a smile for her dark adversary. Hi, Friday. In any case, since I came without my Bill Blass originals, it's probably for the best. Is this book sponsored by Bill Blass? Don't worry, I won't be around to embarrass you in front of the Radners.
Oh my god, I hear Friday, by the way. So
I like staying out late at night, until the wee hours. Not here, he told her. You'll be in by midnight, Miss Forrest. House rules. I don't intend having my routine interrupted by you. She glared up at him hotly. I will stay out as late as I like, Mr. Thorpe, she returned. These are not Victorian times. Aw, damn. These are not, Baroque times.
It was real chat.
But they're not medieval.
They're not medieval times. And you are most certainly not my master. As for dressing up for dinner, Marilyn, you are most welcome to sit down to my table naked, if you like, Lila interrupted. What a marvelous thought, Marilyn laughed, rising to the occasion. She grinned at Cameron, who was getting madder by the minute. You're turning purple, she added. He drew in a slow breath, and his black eyes made threats. Keep pushing, he said quietly, and see what happens. Her eyes widened.
Okay.
I can hardly wait.
There we go.
With the harsh sigh. I can't wait for them to have the most boring missionary sex.
It's gonna be so vanilla. Like the build up is insane, but it's gonna be like he's
Straight up
He
bad.
put it in her thingy.
he sounds boring.
And then he put it in her you know what.
2 seconds, and then he was done. Back.
2 seconds.
He put his suit back on. I have to go to work.
With a harsh sigh, he turned on his heel and stalked off. Lila grinned. What a repressed boy I raised, she murmured. I had such plans for Cam, but his father stole him away from me in his formative years. Being dragged around the world and ridiculed at every turn has left its mark on him, I'm afraid. She stared after him wistfully. His father hurt him, belittled him. He wanted Cam to be strong and shrewd. Well, he's that. But my husband managed to take almost all the tenderness out of him, and what he left behind, Marcia destroyed with her cruelty. She shook her head. Cam's had a hard life, but if he marries Dell, it can only get worse. Is she that bad? Marilyn asked, momentarily sympathetic. Oh, my dear, Lila sighed, shaking her head mournfully. I had such high hopes that he'd settle down one day. He's nearing 40, you know. Whoa!
What?
And he's going to get with this
Wait.
26-year-old. Okay.
Work.
Okay.
They're adults.
They're adults.
Wait a minute.
Side just
That's-
got
I
it.
just
It just
I seem to recall a wedding being called off at the ripe age of 26.
yeah.
And he's nearing 40.
And
Yeah.
Perfect.
Work.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this book about Jane Eyre?
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
starting to sound familiar.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. He's nearing 40, you know, but I had hoped for a daughter-in-law who would be... She glanced warily at Amanda, who was lost in her doll and its expensive accessories. Different from Dell. Different how? Marilyn asked, fascinated. You'll see, I'm afraid, came the weary reply. The remark turned out to be prophetic. Marilyn had already decided that the best thing for her to do would be to go into Gainesville for the rest of the day while the Radners were in residence. She'd had enough of Cameron Thorpe's disapproving glare for one day, and Lila had already told her it would be impossible. Okay. Oh no, you're gonna miss some plot.
Impossible to get. Dylan has to pick up. You know what? Honestly, I'll take the phone with me. Dylan has to pick up his controller.
Oh, okay. Let's take an interlude.
I just have to open the door. Hello.
Hey, Dylan.
I can't hang up the phone. Discord isn't working. I have to give.
Now that she's gone.
Yeah, Sai, let's talk. We can really talk now.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, Cameron's so hot. He's built like a cardboard box,
with
dude.
His ham hands.
With his ham hands. And his square Minecraft Steve jaw. With the square Minecraft Steve suit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I like it when he calls me ugly.
Yeah, literally. Homely.
Homely.
I love it when he, like, abuses his child.
It's so hot.
I like it
when he... I love how he thunders up the stairs and stares at me disapprovingly.
Yeah, this is I'm really glad that I'm reading this with you guys, because I don't know if I would have made it this far on my own.
No, it's an experience for us all, yes. And I'm so happy we're experiencing this together, and I'm glad you've gone. I'm glad you've gone. Wait. So this is how far did you get before you?
I haven't read it at all until just.
Oh.
This is my original reaction, never before read.
Oh my god. Never before read.
I had never read it.
Reaction.
People are saying
never read it.
But I have not.
But I haven't.
We're on page 50.
Well.
So,
what's up?
We're on page 50, so that's pretty good.
Oh my god, wait.
Yeah, right?
It felt like it just started, too.
I know. Well, it's moving pretty fast. And then it ends on page 248, so...
Oh my god!
It'll only take us...
Okay, I'm back.
You know,
yeah, Sophie's like such a nerd, dude. Oh my god.
Real and true.
Oh shoot, what's up, bro?
Bro!
What's up?
She'd had enough of Cameron Thorpe's disapproving glare for one day, and Lila had already told her it would be impossible to get any more work done with the guests around. The older woman had sighed wistfully when Marilyn made her decision known and muttered that she'd like to go too. Marilyn walked out into the hall in her tasseled Mexican poncho with a green long-sleeved cotton blouse and white slacks.
Poncho!
And stopped.
I can't see the dress with the poncho.
And stopped dead when she got her first look at Del Radner. Thin and dainty, with Shirley Temple blonde hair and over-mascaraed blue eyes, Cameron's girlfriend was dressed as if she'd just been to a cocktail party or was headed for one. Her dress was a black street-length silk charmeuse? Obviously a designer model, with lavish floral lace inserts at the neckline and cuffs. Against her delicate fairness, it was devastating, and she had to know it. Her accessories were equally flawless, black snakeskin slingback pumps and a matching purse. She was speaking to Cameron in low, girlish tones, and her full red lips were pouting up at him. Cameron, in a black dinner jacket, was looking irritated and devastating. He would have graced the most chic establishment. Even Marilyn couldn't help feeling a ripple of pleasure at the picture he made. Okay. She jerked herself. Just kidding.
Bro! Right there in the
She
hall?
did what to herself?
She
Hold on.
jerked herself back to reality. This man was trouble, and she wanted no part of him. Besides, she wasn't here to cozy up to Cameron the Cold. She was little more... Cold was with a capital C, by the way. Cameron the Cold.
Oh, God.
She was little more than an employee. The thought made her giggle, and she hid her mouth behind her elegantly kept hand. The giggle drew unwanted attention. She felt two hostile pairs of eyes on her and made the most of her inbred composure. What?
What?
Her what?
The most of
Composure?
her inbred composure?
Inbred. Okay, what is with this book and cousins and Alabama
What is the
material?
Oh, Georgia.
Is that a like?
Oh, George.
Is inbred composure a thing? Like, is inbred an adjective?
You guys, the
Inbred.
80s was not long enough ago for there to be a linguistic barrier.
Inbred composure.
Yeah. Like,
This
is inbred like
crazy.
used as like not inbred? Like, is that a
I
word?
have never heard that.
I'm so. Oh my God, there's a Reddit thing that's. Oh no, I don't want to read that. Oh God, I don't want to Google search.
Yeah,
this
go to
anymore.
Reddit and type in inbred.
No, literally, dude, I looked up inbred composure, and the first article was about in Wikipedia called inbreeding. The second article is, I am inbred, r/true off my chest.
Oh
My dad and mom are.
Damn. Wait, okay, sorry. Halt everything. Can
Yeah.
you read that?
Yeah, can you go ahead and let's
want me
take
to
a
read
pause.
it?
I would love.
Can
I
we
want nothing
analyze
more.
that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, sure. Okay, it's not
Intermission.
too long. It's not too long.
Yeah.
Okay, so this 3 years ago, and the it's an r/true off my chest. Okay, I am inbred. I just entered my 4th decade of life, and I am finally, in quotes, putting this out there. Other than the family, only 2 other people on this planet know, and now you all can join them. My dad and mom are brother and sister, so I am a product of inbreeding. The history is complex and is not recurring theme. No, I am not doing the same thing they did, and it wasn't done before them. Even though this is the case, I love my parents very much. Honestly, the biggest difficulties I have faced with this is answering the question, how did your parents meet? In quotes, I'm sorry your grandma passed. Was it your mom or your dad's side? And similar questions.
Oh,
I'm not.
my
Yeah,
God.
I know. I'm not mentally or physically deficient. I've gone through life like any normal person: school, hobbies, college, graduate school, working, etc. At times, it can be difficult because it does not feel like I am the only one. Hell, even right now, I am. Wait, it can difficult. At times, it can difficult because it does. No,
There's
at times
the
it can difficult because it does feel like I am the only one. Okay, it does feel okay. Anyways, hell, even right now, I am terrified that I am even going to post this. But growth does not come from being stuck in your comfort zone all the time. Anyway, take care and enjoy your day. Edit. Thank you all for your support, curiosity, and kind words. I was not expecting this, but I'm grateful. Edit 2, getting this question a lot. No, my parents were not married, and they are not still together. My mom raised me, but I did see my dad too.
Damn.
Comments are
So,
pretty supportive. Yeah.
Well, because what are you going to do? It's already been done, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
like you exist, like.
I guess.
Yeah.
But like, how did they meet though? Like, were they like?
You imagine being the grandparents.
Were they like estranged? Like, were they separated at birth or something? Like.
Yeah,
does
there's
not
a
say.
whole lot of questions.
There's
were
a
they, like-
489 comments on this, but oh no.
Friday. Hi.
Like,
Yeah, and I feel
there's
like
that story of like
Oh, yeah, the
2 twins that
cousins.
got like estranged. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
That's so.
that
That horrified.
the
I
cousin were the-
literally. This is why I don't know. Even dating like other gingers, I'm like.
Are you one of me?
I'm like.
Your brother?
You know, honestly,
Brother.
yeah, I don't know if you, as a red-haired person, I don't know if you should seek out another redhead. You're gonna get
know.
close.
It's like, I don't know. Even like just like other white people who are like from the same areas as me, I'm like. It just.
So how
I know
far-
that's kind of
how far
irrational,
up
but.
Well, I mean, like,
But is
yeah, is it irrational?
You know.
I mean, you never know, dude. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't even date Indian people. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, as the other kind of Indian, I would never date someone from Oklahoma. Everybody in that state is my fucking fourth cousin.
That sounds about right.
Friday! Stop it! Why do you do that? He's peeing on the chair.
He is?
Yes.
Oh,
He's such a
man.
brat.
You know who else is a brat?
Charlie XCX.
Marilyn.
Yeah, Marilyn. Oh yeah.
Marilyn. Dude, she's.
Should we
I
try
don't
to?
understand the inbred thing. I don't.
Yeah, that really threw
I
us.
don't know about that.
Should I try to get to the end of chapter 3 because that is another 20-something pages.
Oh, well, you should read as much as you want to. I'm just hanging out.
How much fun
I'm
are
here
you
for
guys
the- I'm here
having?
for the-
I'm having fun, but
I'm having lots
having
of fun.
a great time.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
I
is
now
why
have
I'm
this shit in
like,
my
as much as
in my
you
search history.
Oh yeah,
But-
true.
All right. Well, let's keep going then.
Yeah.
Okay. Even Marilyn couldn't help feeling a ripple of. Oh yeah, she jerked herself back to reality. Okay.
Yeah, she jerked herself off, and then
This man was trouble, and she wanted no part of him. Besides, she wasn't here to cozy up to Cameron the cold. She was little more than a million, made her giggle. Oh yeah, most of her inbred composure. Well, hi there, she said breathily, entering the living room with a toss of her long, exquisite hair. You must be Dell, she told the blonde. I've just heard so much about you, she held out her hand, and Dell took it with a patronizing smile as her blue eyes assessed Marilyn's apparel. You are, Dell asked politely. Marilyn Forrest, Cameron supplied coldly. She's helping my mother with a new book. Oh, you're a writer, Dell's eyebrows went up. No, I have a degree in history, Marilyn replied. Dell blinked.
Line.
Oh, hey! Hi, Bilal.
Bilal, we're reading a romance novel from the 80s that
welcome.
aged like milk, and it's great.
We're also
What?
recording for the pod.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. I'm two
Once
for two.
again.
Oh, fuck.
Wait,
How
let's catch
dare
up.
you?
Shall we catch up Bilal on the story so far?
He ran away.
What?
He
Oh,
fled.
he left.
Oh, he left? Oh, okay. No, leaked! Oh, I'll text him that he can come back.
Yeah, wait.
Okay. You have a degree in history, blah, blah, blah. Dell blinked. I thought only men got those, she said with a tittering little laugh. Oddly enough, women do too, Marilyn replied. She glanced at Cameron with a twitch of her lips. Although some of them leave the halls of academia to work for striking dark men. Were you going somewhere, Miss Forrest? Cameron asked with venom in every word. Why, yes, she told him. Into Gainesville to pick up men.
Okay,
And that is a great
he is
stopping
kind of
place right there.
winning me over.
Right? Who? Wait,
Just a
she
little.
or him?
She is winning me over a tiny bit. I'm sorry, just to pick up the men.
A little bit,
is,
but also I feel like Dell being like so laughably
yeah.
like
comically evil.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
to
you
the-
can go to
the-
college.
I know, it's like 1980, like it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Or is it? I
Okay.
don't know.
Well, Bill.
It was still pretty crazy in the 80s,
Yeah, that's
depending
true.
on where you were.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Weren't you getting your MRS degree?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had people like mention like MRS degree. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What's that?
Mrs.
You sweet naive summer child. Oh, it's the thing about like a woman goes to college to get her MRS
Which is to get married. Her
MRS.
Mrs.
to get married.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
That is misogyny. I shall.
I
it
thought you were
is.
talking about like an
I
actual degree.
hate-
Oh my lord.
Yeah, no, I did too.
But-
I was like,
hate-
what is this MRS?
What?
Masters in I don't freaking know. That's,
In-
that's
Masters in righteous slay.
Sexism.
Yeah.
Righteous slay.
Righteous slay.
And what if I did get my MRS degree? Like, what about it? What are you bitches
Yeah,
gonna
what
do
about
if
it?
I'm
Yeah.
getting my MRS degree? Anyway.
I clap.
Bitch, I'm
Yeah.
bitch, I'm officially slaying.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
Anyways.
Why are you saying my name?
Oh yeah, so we're reading this romance novel on the pod. Do you want us to catch you up, or you just want to just figure out as we go?
A little bit of both.
Okay, so they're clearly doing Jane Eyre because they mention Jane Eyre every
couple of
fucking
sentences.
page. And the back of the book says, Jane Eyre, eat your heart out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe I could just read the back of the
Damn.
book to you. Marilyn
Oh, yeah.
Forrest Steele
Okay.
had found the perfect modern-day Rochester in dark, brooding Cameron Thorpe, and although she could almost recreate the stormy classic from her own life, she had better things to do, like proving to her father she could indeed survive without his millions or his matchmaking schemes, and convincing herself that it didn't matter that men seemed to covet her money more than her heart. But baiting this intimidating stuffed shirt was simply too much fun, until Cameron the Cold Heart decided to catch her at her own game. So,
Ah.
So
Sally, you
basically,
sound like you're in a walkie-talkie and I'm in a war field.
oh really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really? Does
Okay,
it sound
okay.
like that to you guys?
I don't
a
think
little
so.
bit. A little
Yeah.
bit.
It's
I hadn't
giving a
noticed.
little edgy.
A little edgy. That's not good. Let me
Oh, it's
stop
better.
recording and make sure that it doesn't sound like that the whole time.
Yeah,
Hey,
no.
What can I say?
We don't
So
know. We don't know.
basically, what you're saying is she's saying "fuck bitches, get money," but the society is saying "you da bitch and get that money."
Yeah,
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
like that's basically it. Yeah.
I'm still kind of confused
Hell
on
yeah.
her intentions.
Do I still sound like a walkie-talkie?
You
really
sound better.
normal to
You sound nicer and calmer and
Okay, I think my mic sensitivity was too high, so
yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay, cool.
it was like lots for
Yeah.
me. Oh, I just came on to say I finished my taxes at the last
Oh
minute.
yay! That's great. Are
I
you
know.
not gonna
Hey,
listen to this
congrats.
book after we just spent so much time explaining it to you?
Probably not.
Okay. perfect.
Wow.
Okay.
Bro.
I was gonna go write music, but
Oh, okay.
Oh, fair enough.
Wow.
wait. So where is this book? Like,
I
is
have
this
it.
like you have a
I
physical
thrifted
copy?
it. Yeah.
Oh, so they're just listening. They're just
Yeah.
the voices
Yeah.
in your head. Okay.
We're doing
Is
it.
that cool with you? Or?
I mean, sure. I
Well,
just will just be here, and if I feel like inserting myself, I will.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, okay.
Oddly enough, women do too, Marilyn replied. She glanced at Cameron with a twitch of her lips. Although some of them leave the halls of academia to work with... Oh, wait, strike you... Were you going somewhere? Oh, why, yes, she told him, into Gainesville to pick up men. Lila walked in on that last mischievous statement and chuckled. May I go, too? She asked. Mother, Cameron growled, scowling down at her. And who is this? Asked an icily polite voice from behind Lila. Marilyn Forrest, my research assistant, Lila obliged. Marilyn, you've met Dell, of course, and this is Charlotte Radner, Dell's mother. Research assistant? Charlotte laughed softly, but her eyes were as icy blue as a winter storm. She was dressed elegantly herself in a floor-length blue dress that clung to her willowy figure. Her hair must once have been blonde.
Dainty.
Skinty, but now it was white with one of those blue rinses on it.
Oh, you know.
Marilyn is helping me
Blue-
research the, oh my god, Plantagenet and Tudor. I really thought that word was going to show up just the one time, and it keeps fucking...
It's like crucial to the plot.
Plantagenet and Tudor periods for a book I'm working on, Lila offered. Although we've almost definitely settled on the Tudors. The background is so interesting. I'm sure it is, dear, Charlotte said, sounding bored. But a great many people have no taste for history, you know. It's so dull, Dell added, clinging to Cameron's sleeve. I'd rather talk about polo. Cam, are you coming down for the match next week? He shook his
Oh.
head. I've got too much to do. There's a board meeting on a new budget. You never stop working, Dell complained. Work, work, work. Why don't you come out from behind that desk and into into the world, sorry.
Into my pussy.
You used to play
I was gonna say-
polo. You used to play polo. I remember watching you. You'd have been in pigtails back then, I imagine, Marilyn asked with a smile, noting with wicked pleasure the anger on Charlotte Radner's patrician features. Patrician? Okay. She's just throwing in words at this point. Okay. Dell is quite mature for her age, Charlotte said coolly, curtly motioning her daughter to silence when she started to reply, and has exquisite taste in clothes. Marilyn spread her poncho. And my lack of it shows, she challenged. Charlotte's manner wouldn't let her enter into an insult match. My dear, I meant no offense, she said formally. Of course not. You wouldn't be so ill-mannered as to point out the obvious difference between your daughter's clothing budget and my own, Marilyn said. Mrs. Radnor gave her a hard glare, and Cameron's dark eyes began to glitter. Weren't you just leaving, Miss Forrest? He asked, emphasizing every cold word. Why, yes, I was, Marilyn agreed with a grin. She tossed her dark hair like a young filly about to bolt, and her green eyes glanced off his flirtatiously. See you. He was openly glaring now, and Dell was giving him funny looks. She moved closer, holding on to his arm as if he might be keeping the house from sinking. Oh, what if it was a Dell and Marilyn romance?
I know.
Oh my god, I was gonna say it.
I was like, it's
I
giving
didn't
Glinda and
realize.
Elphaba. You know?
Wait a minute.
Right?
Still enemies
Oh.
to lovers at the same
Right?
time.
Right? Anyway. Have a good time, Marilyn, Lila called after her. I'll try to be in by 2 or 3 at the latest, Marilyn replied mischievously, with a glance toward Cameron, who'd already told her to be in by midnight. He started to say something, but before he could, Marilyn was out the door with a cheery, "Good night." It was a relief to breathe fresh air again. Dell was just a child, obviously infatuated with Cameron, but her mother was something else, and she held the reins on her daughter. It looked to Marilyn as if Cameron was slowly digging his own grave. But she didn't feel the least bit sorry for him. He was cold and domineering and obviously deserved every damned thing he would get. She didn't like him. He was all the things she resented in a man. Just the thought of him made her bristle. She walked around Lakeshore Mall for a couple of hours, haunted the B. Dalton store there, sighed over the latest railroads at Radio Shack, and
She went to the mall and then she stared at the railroad.
it's, malls it could have been an outdoor.
The railroads at Radio Shack.
It could have been like a field mall,
How old is a mall?
And had supper in a charming little restaurant with hanging foliage and an uptown menu. Then she drove to the Holiday Inn, checked in, and spent the night watching movies.
That actually worked.
Watched movies on. Oh wait, and watching people go by her window. It was 9:00 the next morning when she rode her little red horse into Lila's driveway and parked it beside Cameron's elegant black horse. She glared at the larger horse. Black, it figured. He didn't have the personality for flashy red sports horses. She dragged herself out of the horse, still wearing the clothes she'd worn the day before. She'd slept in her underwear and went into the house.
Oh.
Lila glanced up as she entered the dining room, smiling with something like relief. "Good morning, dear. Have you eaten?" "Not yet," Marilyn replied with a general smile for the rest of the people at the table. Apparently Amanda was sleeping late again, but Cameron's guests were there, as elegant in pantsuits as they had been in dresses the night before. They looked as disapproving as Cameron did. "What a lovely time I had," Marilyn sighed. She sat down beside Lila and smiled at Tilly, who poured her a cup of black coffee and pushed the platter with the buttered toast within her reach. "I hope you didn't worry," she asked Lila. "No, dear," Lila said with an amused smile, because she already knew that Marilyn didn't trust men and that she hadn't really spent the night picking them up. "I was just having too much fun to come back," Marilyn sighed, munching on toast and washing it down with coffee. "In my time," Mrs. Radnor said coldly, "decent young women didn't carouse all night. Even at the age of 20, Dell is not allowed to be out past midnight." "You're only 20?" Marilyn exclaimed.
Hey, whoa.
Wait, I love that she shouts that.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. Staring at Dell. "And you're 45, isn't it?" she asked Cameron with pretended innocence. "I'm 39, he said coldly. "Oh, God. 19 years, Marilyn shook her head, glancing at Dell. "You poor child." Cameron slammed down his napkin. "Miss Forrest," he began furiously. "Do call me Jane, all my friends do," she told him, and pursed her lips in a playful kiss. "In front of the girlfriend is crazy!" Okay. His cheeks had a dull layer of red over them, and she was glad she wasn't alone with him. Oh, God.
Yeah, see?
Jesus.
She's like scared of him.
Yeah. Yikes.
Bro.
Cameron isn't old, Dell defended him, touching his hand lovingly. He's in his prime, and so masterful. Marilyn sputtered into her coffee and almost choked. Cameron glared at her openly, clenching his fists on the table until the knuckles went white. My, you're in a good mood oh my god, you're in a good mood this morning, Marilyn, Lila said. I must go with you on your next night out. Lila, Mrs. Radnor said curtly, you shouldn't encourage this kind of thing. God knows there's enough immorality in the world. Spending the night alone in a Holiday Inn is immoral? Marilyn asked, recovering from her lapse. Her dark eyebrows lifted as she stared at Mrs. Radnor. How? The older woman looked stunned. She faltered, searching for words. I assumed... Miss Forrest, Cameron began again, and his black eyes glared holes in her. You were asked to be in by midnight. No, I wasn't, Mr. Thorpe. I was ordered to be in by midnight, she retorted. I don't respond well to orders, even when they're given by exciting dark men. Cameron? Oh, Cameron, Dell interrupted. Don't you think... Keep out of this, Dell, Cameron replied curtly. Oh my god. As if a mere woman's comments weren't worth listening to. Dell meekly inclined her head toward her plate, and Marilyn glowered at Dell. Are you going to let him talk to you that way? She burst out. My goodness, you don't have to sit there and take orders like a family pet. Ooh. Dell looked shocked, but her expression was nothing compared to Cameron's. He threw down his napkin. He already did that.
Yeah. He
As if
the next second time.
For dramatic effect.
He threw down his
Just
napkin.
infinite producing napkins.
As if it were a gauntlet. That's enough, he told Marilyn, and his voice was like deep, icy water. That's more than enough. You said it, honey, Marilyn replied with a contemptuous laugh as she got to her feet, oblivious to Charlotte's glare and Lila's smothered grin. I'd choke having to eat beside a male chauvinist like you. If you'll all excuse me, I'm going to freshen up. Damn. She got up with a general nod in the direction of the guests and went upstairs. Male supremacist sitting there like the first Caesar, she muttered, stripping off her clothes and coiling her long hair up under a borrowed shower cap as she went toward the bathroom. And that simpering child sitting there, lapping it up, she hissed. She turned on the water and stepped under it, quickly soaping herself and as quickly washing off the lather. She grabbed a towel and dried herself. Okay, we know how showers work. I don't know that we needed it. She grabbed a towel and dried herself, ripped off the shower cap, and shook her hair dry. Cameron had made her furious enough. What?
I was bracing myself. Never mind.
Oh, God.
I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, like, why are we getting the detail of the shower? Oh, he's probably going to see her in the
probably
towel.
Because I was going to say, I thought the guy was going to come in and... Like,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Okay.
I was like, uh-oh.
Bad girl.
Oh god. So what is this thing about like the trope with the guy like being a bad guy? Like, is that a thing?
Well, it's okay. Enemies to lovers is a thing, but like,
but he's like
the guy is not like a chauvinist. Like,
yeah.
Well, the 80s again was wild because it was like feminism was still pretty new.
That's true.
The
He's
new
giving
kid on the
Mr.
block.
Big from Sex and the City.
Yeah, it's
And
also
I hate
like I can change him. You know?
No. I don't know. He doesn't really like, even with the enemies to lovers tropes and stuff like that. You gotta. The characters usually are like likable, at least. This guy's kind of just
It has to be like kind of like a misunderstanding of why they hate each other, or like not like fundamentally different people, but like
Yeah. Also, he wastes a lot of napkins, and that's really bad for the earth. I think he needs to fix that.
Yeah.
He summons napkins.
She can fix him, you guys.
Yeah, we could fix him. Tell him about proper napkin etiquette.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, I accidentally peeked ahead.
Oh.
Okay, she grabbed a towel and dried herself, ripped off the shower cap and shook her hair dry. Cameron had made her furious enough, but that Charlotte Radnor had really set her temper on fire. Snob! How dare that woman make such assumptions about her? You were trying to make her think that, though.
Yeah, you
were
only
like-
told everyone.
Yeah, anyway. Of course, she had to admit that she deliberately begun to give the wrong impression. But she was probably worth twice as much as the Radners, and she hated being put down. If this was how poor people lived, it wasn't very pleasant. This is not how poor people lived, by the way. It made her think,
Yeah, in fact.
which was probably what her father had intended from the beginning, she thought angrily. And again, she wondered if he had more than a nodding acquaintance with Cameron Thorpe. He couldn't have picked a better adversary for her if he'd spent his life searching. Then she realized she was on the wrong track. Her father would have been in search of a soulmate for her, not an adversary. She walked back into her bedroom, sleek and elegant in her nudity, her high
Like a
breasts
dolphin.
in perfect proportion to a body that was sensuous and graceful and unconscious of its own power.
But was it dainty?
Was it thin? And as she walked into the bedroom, Cameron
I
Thorpe
knew it.
walked in the door.
No.
What did I say?
Oh, no.
Uh,
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
It's always the men thinking they can do whatever they want.
Dear Lord.
Oh, no.
Her eyes widened, so did his. They went over her like dark fingers, tracing every soft curve,
Ew.
every long line, with an intensity that froze her into position like a nymph caught bathing. "Damn you," she whispered. "Oh, damn you," she whispered as sanity returned. She dived for the silky blue coverlet and jerked it around her. Her face went blood red. No man had ever seen her without her clothes, not even that jackass she'd been engaged to. There had been very little more than kissing between them, in fact, which was one thing that had led to her suspicion that her money was the attraction for Adam, not her body or her heart. "How interesting," Cameron murmured, watching her reaction as she shrank against the post of the canopy over her wide bed. He closed the door behind him with a hard thud and went toward her. She
Damn,
vaulted.
it'd be interesting
What?
if I put my fist through his face. Let me say. It might be better.
She vaulted across the bed and got behind the elegant blue wing chair, glaring at him over it. "What are you doing in here?" she demanded. "I wanted this book to be hot! Why is it pissing me off?"
This is gross.
"You sound quite hysterical, Miss Forrest," he commented. He rammed his hands in his pockets and smiled slowly. The smile changed him, made him wildly sensual. The big muscles in his arms were outlined by the short-sleeved knit shirt he was wearing, and so was the muscular breadth of his chest. His slacks were close-fitting. No, they weren't. Why would they be close-fitting? Ew. And why is he wearing a knit shirt? Anyway.
It's the 80s.
It's true.
That's
I
what
know
we're
he just
focused
said
on. All right.
He should be
His
wearing a
slacks were
suit.
close-fitting, emphasizing the powerful muscles of his long legs, the slender lines of his hips and stomach. He was devastating, physically at least, and she hated herself for noticing that. "I'm not
You
hysterical."
think maybe the author doesn't really understand what she's writing about? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, she's just. It's like when like 12-year-olds are like talking about like adult concepts when they're not supposed to be.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
Hmm.
I've read a lot of these books. Like, they're just like in the 80s. This was hot to people.
It was a different time. Yeah.
It was a very, very different time.
Men
Lord
sucked
almighty, man.
more than they do now.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just appreciate how far we've come,
All right.
Why?
and also not far at all. But you
Yeah,
know,
I know. I'm like, yeah, honestly, is it that crazy?
Interesting. She contains a different
Shit, man,
genital than I do. Like, why would you say interesting?
It's so gross.
interesting.
It feels like he's looking at a
All the
science
words.
Yeah.
It feels like he's looking at a science project, and I freaking hate that. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And that's almost like it's like, oh, because he has muscles, like it's all good. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
why,
No.
why did
Yeah.
why did
Oh,
we
God.
focus on that? Like, I don't know. I'd be like, okay, where's the? Let's find this man in jail now, please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
You said
Anyways.
you were just going to freshen up. I assumed you'd have time for that by now. He sounded reasonable. Okay. Then he definitely
Not
knew
her
that she was going to
gaslighting
be
herself.
naked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if somebody said they were gonna go freshen up, like, that's a knocking situation. Anyway,
What the heck?
he sounded
Also,
reasonable.
why isn't he left yet?
Yeah, right? He sounded reasonable, but she didn't feel reasonable. She wanted to throw things. Her fingers trembled where they held the coverlet against her breasts. Whatever you wanted. Can it wait until I get my clothes on? She asked in a high-pitched tone. What I had in mind would work better with them off, he replied, moving toward her again. Oh.
Okay.
Are we in it?
Whatever happened to hello? My name is like. This is crazy.
Interesting. Like,
No hitting, if you please, she said, shoving the chair at him. This is sad. Okay. My insurance doesn't have a clause for assault and battery. I wouldn't hit you, he said. I just want your full attention. He nudged the chair aside with his hip and kept coming. Nervous, Jane? He asked with a cold smile. Oh my god, this is horrible. Isn't that what your friends call you? Yes, but you don't fall into that category. I'm warning you, Mr. Thorpe. I have acquaintances who just adore suing people on my behalf. So have I. Pay attention, Miss Forrest, because I don't intend to repeat this. I don't know what kind of half-baked boys you're used to, but in this house I'm the master, and what I say goes. Oh my god.
You guys.
I hate this guy. This is so, like, women of this generation's type, though. And it's really a sad, like, they are so scarred from the gender dynamics they grew up in, I feel like. Anyway.
This shit was flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Actually, can you look it up?
Yeah.
Who's the author?
It's
Diana Palmer.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, let's see what rating it has on Goodreads.
Yeah.
What's the book called?
Lady Love.
Lady Love.
Lady Love, Diana Palmer.
Palmer. Published in 1984. You know what else was in 1984?
1984.
1984.
Brother.
Nothing at
No,
all.
I can't believe we're on the same
1984.
wavelength. That's so scary.
It
I
has
can't
a
believe there's a
lot
book called
of
1984.
Why does it have good reviews? It's
an
so
average
scary.
of 4.02 reviews. It's because it's all middle-aged women reading it, like conservative,
Yeah.
like,
They're like,
older ladies.
by days.
They're like, ooh, clutch
My
pearl."
days.
oh my lord!
Oh my. Fanning.
Listen.
But of course, I would
We
rather have
just
this
need to assess, does our protagonist seem to be enjoying herself?
Yeah.
Oh, there is a funny Reddit post that's saying that like, everyone who puts like reviews on Goodreads like are crazy essentially.
Hey, I put reviews on Goodreads.
Yeah, there is
Regularly.
no Diana Palmer book that is not a fever dream. There's one.
She has a lot of cowboy books.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They give a lot of better authors. That's funny. Okay. Anyways,
Do you wear a crown,
also
sir?
we live in a place where we don't have to worry about. There's no shortage of cowboys. Just go down the street, man.
Ma'am, you're at a Billy Bob's. You can escape this.
Yeah.
Oh my God! A new Lady Whistledown's paper just dropped.
On God.
Really?
God.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wait, now we need
Pause,
someone
let's
to
read
this.
that, yeah. Go ahead, Willow.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill,
Dude,
Bill, you
wait,
go.
let me put my guitar away. Wait, I have to put my guitar away. Dearest gentle readers, my mind has been quite a while. There's
This
so
is not
much
the
to
voice.
report. You've never seen Bridgerton.
It's
Oh my god.
it's Julie Andrews is the voice.
Yeah, it's Julie Andrews. I
Okay,
can't do
never
Julie
mind.
Andrews.
You're cooking. Go on.
Yeah, you're cooking. There's so much to report on and only so many paragraphs to write in. The infamous Able group was able to reunite once again at Sophie's 24th birthday this past weekend.
Me.
Longtime members like Sir Bilal and Lady Christina were seen in attendance. Much to everyone's delight, Lady Christina brought a new face to the party. Sir Isaac came to the party boldly sporting a shirt once belonging to Sir Bilal. The scandal of it all. Aside from this wardrobe insanity, Sir Isaac seemed to be kind and caring towards Lady Christina, which is exactly what we like to see in a man. Congratulations to a happy couple.
Yay.
If you were lucky enough to catch Sir Zach in the hustle and bustle of the party, you'd know he had a place to deposit on a new apartment for himself and Lady Rebecca.
Oh,
While he did not arrive late, it was not all forgotten when he told partygoers of his new place in Grapevine. While Lady Rebecca was not in attendance, Sir Griffin was seen at Sir Zach's side, talking of his love and admiration for Lady Dylan. Not to be confused with Sir Dylan Tom. Sir Griffin saved the party with a bundt cake, which was the favorite flavor of Lady Alexa and Sir Sai. Lady Sophie, Lady Patchy, and Sir Casper celebrated their birthday with cake and hilarious piñata that Lady Patchy was most happy to attack.
Okay. Well, should we keep reading?
Oh, wait,
course.
how many pages are left for the end of this chapter? Like
10.
All right.
Sorry, everyone on call. We were just talking. Sorry, everybody listening. We were just talking shit about y'all.
Yeah.
This audience is so fucking stupid, you guys.
We hate the
God damn.
audience.
Oh,
Which is just
friggin'
us
losers,
listening to
bro.
it later on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sending
Hey,
all the
future
hate.
Sai, you looking handsome as crap, ain't you?
Yeah, future
Yeah,
Sally,
anyway.
you're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
kidding. I love Ariel.
Okay.
Boo.
In this house, I'm the master, and what I say goes.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
wear-
we're in this.
Do you wear a crown, sir, and have a little crest sewn on your underwear? She asked. She backed behind the night table, using it like a shield. Part of her was nervous, but another part was wildly excited by that glitter in his eyes, the movement of his powerful body. She'd never tried to enrage a man before, but there was something about Cameron's dark, somber masculinity that intrigued her. She couldn't help but wonder what was under the mask. He stood looking at her, his eyes narrow and intent, his head slightly cocked to one side. Hiding? He asked in a voice
Is
soft
that like
with menace.
breakfast?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. This seems really tense. Oh my god. Oh god, no.
She laughed again. Just taking cover. Now, Mr. Thorpe, you knew from the beginning that I didn't just lie down and let people walk over me. I'm not any good at taking orders, and I don't intend to take them from you. His dark eyes glittered with amusement and something deeper, more dangerous.
Oh.
You're afraid of me, aren't you? He asked, studying her posture. Where's all that bravado you had in front of my guests? It's not fear of you, she promised with a blatant smile. I'm just afraid that if I don't keep my distance, I might wrestle you down on the floor, that's all. Gathering her courage, oh my god, she batted her eyelashes at him. Oh, Mr. Thorpe, you're so sexy. He made a rough sound. Think so? Well, honey, you'd have to pay me. He turned to leave, and she lost her head. Damn you, she breathed with glittering fury. She glared after him with eyes full of hatred. He turned with his hand on the doorknob and studied her one last time. Oh my god.
Wow.
You have the most beautiful body I've ever seen, he said unexpectedly. Are you a virgin? She held the coverlet tighter.
Oh, what?
Guessing?
No.
His eyes wandered over her. Miss Forrest, an experienced woman, doesn't run for cover at the first sight of male interest. Just for future reference. Yeah, they do. Because you walked in on her fucking naked.
She don't know you like that.
Came out of the shower,
I'm shocked.
dog. What you mean?
She tossed her hair. I don't need instructions. Least of all from someone who sleeps in a bed full of ice cubes. His eyebrows arched. Do you think I do? He put his hands in his pockets and studied her curiously. I'll give you my character analysis of you on the day I leave here, she promised. He looked her over again with calculating eyes. Dell and her mother left a few minutes ago, by the way, and I'm on my way out now, he said with a cool smile. Thanks to you, I had some explaining to do. They seem to feel that you're here for my benefit, not my mother's. I set them straight. He lifted his square jaw and pursed his lips. There's just one thing you'd better keep in mind. In case you don't know, I pay the bills, including my mother's. That makes me your real boss. And if you want trouble, put me in the same position twice. You can count on my cooperation, sir, she said huskily and grinned. Oh. Okay, let's just go in another
This
power dynamic.
this author needs to be on a list somewhere. Like, I'm being so for real. This is
Get her on watch immediately.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny from like a woman's perspective that this is like shocking for y'all.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Yes,
same old
so-
shit.
It's not that it's shocking. It's just that I'm more shocked that women enjoy this. That's what I'm saying.
Back in the day, they really, honestly...
But like nowadays, people are like talking on Goodreads. They didn't got Goodreads in 1984. Like 4
True.
stars? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Well, we
That's kinda
still live
crazy.
in this patriarchal society, and I guess I
Really?
feel like women like find ways to accept it and like live in it. I don't know. It is
a lot
sad.
of women
That's
benefit
sad,
from
though,
it,
man.
you know, or they
Yeah.
think that it's the only way that they'll survive. You know, they convince themselves that it really is for the best,
Yeah.
Ugh.
and it just perpetuates.
Um,
And that sucks.
I thought you'd see it my way. I'm glad we had this little talk, Jane, he added with a superior smile. Just dig up bodies for my mother and you and I will get along fine. I'll do my very best, she promised. An impish smile touched her full lips. But just hold your breath until I lay my heart at your feet again. Amazingly, he laughed, and it was genuine for once. Damned brat, he muttered as he jerked open the door. Too bad we are from such different worlds, Jane Eyre, he said with a curt laugh. I think I could have made you lay more than your heart at my feet a few years back.
Oh.
She blinked. A few years back? Because you're too old. No, I'm kidding. Before I learned what devious, twisted minds you women have. Before Amanda's mother taught me how beautifully deceit can be clothed. He rammed his hands in his pockets and stared at her. I don't have any inclination to lose my heart again. Dell would be crushed to hear you say that, Marilyn replied. Dell will make a good wife, he returned. She's young and impressionable and easily led. She dresses beautifully and she knows how to be a good hostess. The perfect businessman's wife. Our marriage will be a very profitable merger. Mama comes with her, she reminded him, and she isn't easily led. Mama is a barracuda, but I'm a shark. She wouldn't have touched that line with a cattle prod. His eyes wandered down the coverlet and back up again, and there was something in them that frightened Marilyn more than his earlier anger. I don't like domineering men, she said. I wasn't aware that your job required you to like me, she laughed. Praise the Lord. His head tilted, and he smiled slowly. You're full of fire, Miss Forrest, he murmured. Like a firecracker. I'd forgotten how exciting it could be. As if the observation angered him, his smile vanished, and the glitter was back in his eyes. Stop prodding me, for your own good. I make a bad enemy, and since you apparently don't work for the fun of it, I'd hate to see you kicked out the door over an insignificant disagreement. He inclined his head like a conquering general and went out, leaving her puzzled, excited, and on edge. She had underestimated him, but it was a mistake she wouldn't make again. Pausing. We have some pages left, but pausing. Comments, concerns, questions?
I mean, I'm locked in.
You and me, brother.
Bro,
This shit's crazy, but I'm locked in.
but I'm a shark.
Yeah, that's
That was
crazy.
cringe. Yeah. They're
And yet,
gone.
I will remember it.
They're gone,
Let
Marilyn.
me put that
Oh,
on my
what?
see how far my ratings go down.
Put that on your
what the
hinge.
fuck? Put that on my hinge. See how little.
Unless you're just a
oh my
shark
God.
boy. Lava girl.
Exactly.
See, if I actually did that, that'd be kind of funny. But otherwise, this was horribly cringy.
Will be the lava girl to my shark boy. Why didn't you say it like
Aw.
that?
See, I'd be
Okay,
afraid
yeah,
of
that's actually
responding,
cute, though.
though.
That's actually cute though. But barracuda to shark is kind of freaking weird.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that. Honestly, it just shows that men just don't know what they're doing, and I feel like
Yeah.
at least the author understands that a bit.
It's sad that this is
Wait,
like so
no.
many women's like fantasy
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
just to enjoy for the like the oppressor to just at least be hot is the fantasy
Yeah.
rather
Ugh.
than an oppressor to like respect them.
I'm sure later in the book it's gonna be like, oh, he's actually nice. It's just I didn't see him for who he really was.
Do you feel yourself? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm burnt out. I'm like, I'm so fucking jaded that it's like, I've even started to gaslight myself about like, oh, it's not that bad. It was just a different time. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I haven't read stuff like this, so I just
I just meant in general, the whole like.
Oh, fair.
Anyway. Okay. They're gone, Marilyn, Amanda whispered as Marilyn came downstairs to find the little girl waiting for her. Amanda grinned. Now we can get back to normal. Hi, Friday. Don't you like Miss Radner? Marilyn asked gently. Amanda glowered. She doesn't like me, she muttered. She looks at me as if she feels sorry for me. Just you wait. Someday I'll be just as elegant as she is, and I'll feel sorry for her on account of she'll be old and ugly. Marilyn laughed, tugging the young girl against her. You're pretty enough to suit me, Miss Thorpe. Oh, okay. And all you need is a haircut. Okay, she never said that she was ugly.
Yeah.
She literally never said that she was ugly, and Marilyn's like, all you need is a haircut.
Yeah.
Bro.
All
Wait,
you need
child?
is a haircut, a big smile, and some confidence to make you into a raving beauty. Amanda stopped and looked up at her, wide-eyed. Do you really think so? Yes, I do. Could you cut my hair? Marilyn pursed her lips. There's a lot of pursing of the lips in this book. When I get through working, I'll ask your father if I can take you into town to a beauty shop, okay? I'll ask him when he comes back next weekend. He said he was going to, Amanda volunteered. She blushed. He doesn't like women, mostly, except for Miss Radner. But he likes me. Yes, darling, I'm sure he does. I like you, too. Didn't they meet, like, yesterday? With the darling? Okay. Amanda smiled. You're not bad for a grown-up. You're sort of different. Yes, I'm that, Marilyn thought mischievously. Very different from the sort of grown-up you're used to. Like Cameron Thorpe. She wanted to have nothing to do with a man who could contemplate marriage to a woman just because she suited his lifestyle. She wondered if he really thought his Dell was such a prize. Despite her beauty, she struck Marilyn as a passionless woman. Appealing to look at, but that was all. That was his business, though. Hers was going to be keeping out of his way. She wouldn't heel on command for any overbearing stuffed shirt, but on the other hand, she didn't want to have to go home and admit defeat. Her father was already sure she couldn't win this bet. She wasn't going to prove him right. No, she'd just have to depend on her sense of humor to keep Cameron Thorpe at bay. Besides, there was always the possibility that he'd stay away from the lake house for the duration of her month's employment. Cameron's absence was a blessing. For the rest of the week, the lake was delightfully peaceful. Marilyn took Amanda into town with her grandmother's permission. Lila had said the child's hair was none of Cameron's business, and had her hair cut. As an afterthought, she bought her a new dress, too, a lovely frilly thing in blue that suited the young girl. You shouldn't spend your money on me, Amanda protested. You don't make a lot. I heard grandmother arguing about it with my father. He said, she stopped flushing. He said what? Marilyn probed softly. Well, it was something mean. She glanced up apprehensively. He said you weren't worth what you were getting paid, and that grandmother ought to get someone else. But Grandmama stuck up for you, she continued quickly. She said if he fired you, he could go back to Charleston and stay there. She's real mad about him bringing Dell and Mrs. Radner here. She says Daddy only wants to marry Dell on account of she's rich. In other words, Lila was blackmailing him. Marilyn felt miserable for the rest of the day about his opinion of her. It shouldn't have been so hurtful, but it was. I ought to resign, she told Lila finally. Oh my God, after all that?
What?
As they sat together at the kitchen table and had coffee after Amanda had gone to bed, Amanda
He's like, I fucking hate him. And he's like, I don't know, she kind of sucks. And she's like, I'm killing myself immediately.
I will resign. Amanda told me about the argument you had with your son. Lila grinned. Did she? Don't worry about Cam. I can handle him. I don't want to cause trouble, Marilyn stared into her black coffee. He antagonizes me, though. Sometimes I can't help it. But I'll do my best to be pleasant to him, if it will keep the peace. But I don't want you to be pleasant to him, Lila said surprisingly, with a twinkle in her eyes. He was angry when he left here. Angrier than I've seen him in years. It was a pleasant change from his usual indifference. You've shaken him, Marilyn. Keep it up. That would be risky, Marilyn murmured with a delicate shudder, remembering his threat. I'll protect you, Lila promised. She searched Marilyn's eyes. Marilyn, Did you feel the undercurrents when the Radners were here? Marilyn shifted restlessly. It's really none of my affair. Delle's father has a very profitable investment corporation. She'll inherit it. Cam has decided in a cold-blooded way that she'll make him a good wife. She sighed miserably. You see, dear, my husband left us deeply in debt. Oh, shoot. He borrowed too much, and he had friends who were too kind to refuse him credit. When he died, there were insurmountable bills. We even sold the family estate, which our ancestors built over 100 years ago, to defray the debt. But it still wasn't enough. Cam is slowly getting us back on our feet, and what I make with my writing helps. She laughed softly. I won't deny that having money in the family again would be a tremendous boost to our small assets, but I don't want Cam to ruin his whole life just to get out of debt. Marilyn studied her hands. He doesn't seem the kind of man who'd marry solely for money, she murmured. Yes, he does, looking up into Lila's surprised face. It isn't just that, Lila returned. You're very perceptive, Marilyn. No, it isn't only money. He wants a home and a mother for Amanda. He wants permanence, she shrugged. He's rather rootless right now. He lives and works in Charleston, but he's always out looking for new investors. He's spent a lot of time in Atlanta lately, courting the head of a new corporation that's locating back home. Beating out the competition way ahead of time, she explained with a grin. Why Dell? Marilyn asked with genuine curiosity. Lila grimaced. He met her at a party, liked her poise, and set out to court her. I don't know what he sees in her. She's so fussy about her hair and clothes that I don't imagine he even gets to touch her. And she's years too young for him. But, she sighed, he doesn't listen to me anymore. During the next 3 days, they worked at a comfortable, steady pace, while Amanda fished and played on the lake. I love this, Marilyn said on Friday, as she lounged on the dock with her legs hanging off the side and a blue fishing pole in her hand.
Classic poor person lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. She was wearing a blue tube top.
The dude with the
Oh, Dylan, you're here!
Yeah, I noticed you jumped in.
Sally's reaction was like in the book when she got out of the shower.
Oh, my heavens!
Oh
My days!
my days! There's
my
a man.
heavens! Read the back of the book again.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, Dylan, here's the back of the book. Jane Eyre, eat your heart out. Marilyn Forrest Steele had found the perfect modern-day Rochester in dark, brooding Cameron Thorpe, and although she could almost recreate the stormy classic from her own life, she had better things to do, like proving to her father she could indeed survive without his millions or his matchmaking schemes, and convincing herself that it didn't matter that men seemed to covet her money more than her heart. But baiting this intimidating stuffed shirt was simply too much fun, until Cameron the Cold Heart decided to catch her at her own game. Got it?
Nice.
So wait, but her father isn't actually rich.
Her father is rich.
Hers is.
She's pretending to be poor.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was
For
about to
the
ask,
entertainment.
Dad's rich. Why is she doing like this blue collar shit? Like
She wants him
Stolen
to stop
valor.
trying to marry her off, so she's
other
trying to
rich
prove
people.
that she can do her own thing independently, but she totally got this job through nepotism.
She
So,
did, and it's also still like a nice, cushy job
yeah.
He is in an estate.
at an estate, helping this woman write her novel.
Living for
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Anyway, we only have
It's
2
really
pages
weird
left
he's
in the
on his
chapter.
own. Or what
And
about,
the relationship-
wait, an au pair. Au pair.
Au pair?
You were gonna say she was.
Oh no,
Okay.
she's
Well,
26.
Well, she's kind of moonlighting as this kid's governess, but also not. I don't know.
She
I
was-
don't think it'd be a good plot for a novel to have them work at Subway and then find her love in the Subway stand. Like,
I think that would be a
Mm.
wonderful novel.
talking about
I mean, maybe.
love over the shreddest.
Yeah, the
Oh,
tuna
yeah, what's
section.
the setting of this? Like, what time period we work?
What time period do you think? She was wearing a blue corset, cut-off dress that showed her tanned, slender ankles to their best advantage, and a floppy hat on her head.
What the fuck time period is this?
I made up that stuff. It actually says she was wearing a blue tube top, cutoffs that showed her tanned, slender legs to their best advantage, and a floppy hat on her head. It's the 80s,
now.
but we keep trying to make it like early, like
She went to the
1800s.
mall though.
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah. I want to believe it's the early 1800s, or maybe
Yeah,
like
right,
the late
right?
1800s, like kind of.
Gilded
Oh.
age. Yeah.
Yeah. I had said like Titanic era.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, some 1940
Era?
action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. the tens.
I'm thinking mid 1800s.
Oh, yeah,
if
that's
we're
right,
talking
that was his
railroad, because like the main thing, because like her dad owns like a computer company,
Oh yeah,
and so
change it to a railroad
so
company.
railroad company. So I'm thinking like mid to late 1800s for me.
He's a railroad
Um,
baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a railroad fair. Speaking of that, Dylan, do you know what a Plantagenet is? Or Plantagenet?
Plantagenet? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Of course you
one
do!
of the members of the Plantagenet dynasty, right? Of the British royal family.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Let's fucking
That's
go.
weird saying we need Dylan to hop in and tell us what this is.
The word
Like,
Plantagenet keeps
first
coming up,
thought-
and we don't like. I have no idea how to say it.
Yeah,
Literally,
it's
literally,
Yeah, you got it.
Like, uh,
literally the first thing that like Sally, like I don't know, Sally or Sophie said. Sally was like trying to figure out how to say it, and then like either Sophie or Sally says like, "Man, Dylan would know this," and then you actually.
Yeah, I'm
You were
pretty sure.
proven right.
Let me check just to be sure. But
well,
I'm
it
pretty
has
sure that's
something
what
to
it is.
do with the War of Roses. I only
Yeah.
know about the Tudors in the context of Bloody Mary and the connection to
Yeah.
like Queen Elizabeth and onward.
I know about the
So,
Tudors
if I remember
because
right, the Plantagenets were the people who like stayed loyal to the royal family, I think.
Oh, okay. I know the Tudors because a lot of people in The Sims build Tudor-styled houses.
Yeah, the
And you're
Plantagenets
so
were a
right.
royal family that ruled England from 1154 to 1465.
Oh wow. Okay.
There
okay.
you go. I only know Henry VIII.
I love
Tudors,
this,
but there
Marilyn
you
said
go.
on
Richard
Friday
the
as she
Lionheart was a
lounged on the
Plantagenet.
dock with her legs hanging off the side and a fishing pole in her hand, blah, 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 blah. What, fishing? Lila asked as she sunbathed nearby. It was the first real break they'd taken, and they felt they both deserved it. They'd gotten through a tremendous amount of work. Fishing, working, being here on the lake, Marilyn shifted her pole experimentally to make sure the bait was still on the hook and tossed it back in. I hadn't realized how pleasant it could be. Why do you think I come here to work? Lila laughed. Of course, I'm usually alone with Tilly and Amanda. Cameron doesn't often come here. With the pole in hand, Marilyn leaned back against the warm boards, hoping Cameron would indeed stay away. The sun felt good.
I didn't realize this was smart.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh boy.
And the
Oh
only
no, Dylan,
sounds
you don't know the worst of it.
were of birds and crickets in the wind. She felt the warm breeze over her face and sighed with pure delight. The sudden tug on the line caught her unawares, and she felt the fishing pole being dragged out of her fingers. Oh, no, you don't, you sneaky fish. She made a grab for the pole, but it was dragged off the pier, obviously being tugged away by something with scales and a smug look on its fishy face. Impulsively, she jumped into the lake after it, swimming smoothly toward the pole with the graceful style she'd been taught in her youth. She grabbed the pole and dog-paddled toward the shore with it firmly under one arm. You got it, Marilyn, Amanda
Pouring
squealed.
down, she's gonna drown.
Yeah, jumping up
Oh my
and
god,
down.
CPR.
You got it! Lila was grinning, too, clapping her hands in amusement. Stupid fish, Marilyn muttered as she got to the bank and collapsed on it. The water had been cold, but she hadn't even noticed. The pole was still being tugged, so she dragged herself to her feet and put all her remaining strength into fighting whatever was on the end of the line. Try to get away from me, will you? She muttered. She was no novice at pulling and fighting fish. She frequently went deep-sea fishing with her father in the Gulf of Mexico. Huffing and puffing, she matched pull with tug until with one quick, sharp jerk she flipped the fish out of the water and right into Cameron Thorpe's face as he walked toward her down the slide hill.
Oh.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Let's go. And that's the end of chapter
Hit him with a
3!
Yeah.
Go!
Honestly,
And-
happy ending right there. You gotta
Honestly,
freaking
yeah.
fish slap him in the face.
I like that he got slapped with a fish.
Yeah,
Dude,
he deserved that.
roll credits.
Pretty dope.
Okay, we're about a third of the way done with this book. So.
Oh,
Really?
it's actually short.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's only 250 pages.
We have been on call for like 3 hours.
Yeah, Sophie and
But
Sai and I have
3
been here
hour-
for a while. I guess I'll stop
Okay.
recording. Bye.
I literally did my
Yeah.
taxes.
And there it was. That was part 1 of our book club. If you made it this far, that's so great. If you liked this podcast, throw a fish in his face. You know who. Hopefully there will be part 2 and 3 and maybe 4 and 5 and whatever soon. I want to know what happens next. I'm so locked into this horrible, horrible book. And you know what's great about it is now I don't have to read Jane Eyre. Anyway, bye.